Hello, good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over Again. It is, of course, Matchday Live Saturday night football from down on the south coast at the Vitality Stadium. It is, of course, Bournemouth versus Arsenal. The Premier League is back. We are live. This is Matchday Live. So, Matchday Live Premier League is back. We are back for this big game down at the Vitality Stadium, AFC Bournemouth, of course, against Arsenal. Arsenal wearing their third kit for the first time this season, the sort of blue, funky one. So, what is the team lineup for this game? That is the question on everybody's lips. Of course, it is. Well, let's have a look, shall we? So, this is our Arsenal lineup. And it is David Raya in goal. The back four is Ben White at right back, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Ricardo Calafiori. In midfield, Mikel Merino makes his first start alongside Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. And then the front three, Leandro Trossard and Raheem Sterling, either side of Kai Havertz. Of course, Bukayo Saka not in the squad today, due to the injury picked up, of course, on international duty. On the bench then for Arsenal, it is Tom Stepford, the goalkeeper, Jacob Kiwior, Miles Lewis Skelly, Alexander Zinchenko. It is, of course, Jorginho, Ethan Nwaneri, Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and, of course, Maldini Cabia. Now, for Bournemouth, then, it is Kepa Azabalaga in goal. Their back four is Milos Kerskek, Marcus Silenzi, Ilya Zabani, and Julio Arundo. In midfield, Lewis Cook, the captain, Alex Scott, and Django Otera. And their front three is Marcus Tavernier, Anton Semenya, and Evan Ilson. That is the lineup for Bournemouth. What do you make of that Arsenal lineup then? I suppose with the injuries, it's not really a surprise, is it, to see Mikel Merino making his first start. It's a very pragmatic midfield, I'd say, isn't it, with Merino, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Not exactly the most exciting midfield we've ever seen for Arsenal, is it? But it might well be effective in this game. Of course, we've got a decent record against Bournemouth last season. Of course, we won this game 4-0, didn't we? Kai Havertz got his first goal from that penalty. And, of course, so we know how he's gone on since then and you know, gone on and had a fantastic year or so, hasn't he, playing for Arsenal in that centre-forward position where he is again, of course, this evening. Bournemouth have got some threats. You know, they're a better team maybe than their results have shown, I think. They've got some technical players, haven't they? Otera's a good player. Semenyo's a good player. Evan Ilson's a good player as well. I think they're likely to concede goals. I don't think there's much doubt about that. So that's somewhere that we can exploit, obviously. But no, it should be a good game. Obviously, Arsenal are massive favourites to get the 3 points here today, as you would expect. Of course, there were some other games earlier on. We'll just run through those scores for you, just to keep you updated with everything that's happened. It was, of course, Tottenham 4, West Ham 1. Kudos was sent off very late on in that game. They were already losing 4-1 anyway. Kudos had earlier given West Ham the lead. It was Kulishevsky, Bissouma. It was no goal by Areola and Son. Aston Villa won 3-1 at Fulham. That's a really good result for Aston Villa, isn't it? Fulham going really well. Again, they scored first. It was Raul Jimenez with that goal. It was Rodgers, Watkins, and an own goal from Issa Diop. Both teams had a player sent off. It was Anderson for Fulham midway through the second half, and then late on it was Felengi for Aston Villa. Man United beat Brentford 2-1. Again, they went 1-0 down. It was Ethan Pinnock just on the stroke of half-time. In the second half, Garnacho and Hoyland turned that one around for Manchester United. A bit of a shock result at St James's Park. Newcastle 0, Brighton 1. Our old friend Danny Welbeck with the only goal in that game just before half-time. And a great result for Leicester at Southampton. It's Southampton 2, Leicester 3. Southampton led 2-0 at half-time. It was Archer and Aribo. They then had Fraser sent off, and it was Boyanete, a Vardy penalty, and a stoppage time goal from Jordan Ayew gave Leicester the 3 points there. And the other 3 o'clock kickoff was down at Portman Road. It was Ipswich Town 0, Everton 2. It was Ende and Keane in the first half there for Everton. So that's your results from the games, of course, today. Tomorrow, of course, Man City play Wolves and Liverpool are at home to Chelsea. So some couple of big games there. The Monday night game is Nottingham Forest against Crystal Palace. So what are we made of all of that? Well, we're making this team line up first. I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I'm not really that surprised when you look at the injuries. It's good to see Mikel Merino getting his first start, isn't it? Let's see what he's all about. So far, he's not exactly been the most exciting player. He's a player who keeps possession of the ball, moves it sideways more than anything else. But anyway, it is a good. It's obviously one of our main signing of the summer, really, hasn't he been? So it's going to be good to see how he settles into the team. And yeah, obviously it's a strong Arsenal team. Any Arsenal team should be stronger these days. The bench is still a little bit weak in terms of depth. There's a lot of youngsters on there, which is great. Are they ever going to get on? Probably not. But we have got Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus to come off the bench should we need a goal later on in this game. Who knows? I say Bournemouth, I feel, are a decent team. They maybe haven't got the results this season that they maybe could have done in some of the games. They've been a bit unfortunate. And they are a decent team. They play some nice stuff. So it's going to be a tough game. It is going to be a tough game. But we have a great record against them. They've only ever beaten us once in history. That was, of course, here in 2018. I think it was 2017, possibly. It was 2-1, wasn't it? We scored first in that game, Hector Bellerin, if you remember. And then Bournemouth came back to win 2-1. But there was, of course, that exciting game here. I think it was the season before, wasn't it, when we found ourselves 3-0 down and came back to draw 3-3. Yes, Bournemouth had a player sent off in that game, if you remember. And I think it was Olivier Giroud got the equaliser at the end. That was a great game, wasn't it? But I'm sure we're hoping for better than a draw today. We should be winning this game. These are sort of games where, you know, if you're serious about winning a league title, you come away with 3 points, don't you? However you do it. If you scrape it 1-0 in the last minute, or as last year, you win comfortably 4-0, doesn't matter. These are games you've got to get 3 points. Nothing less is enough, is it, from a game like this for Arsenal? Any team challenging for the title has to win this game. And that's no disrespect to Bournemouth. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You know, you have to say Bournemouth have done well, haven't they? You know, they're starting to establish themselves again in the Premier League. They had obviously a little spell back in the Championship, didn't they? But you know, they're one of the more established of the sort of more recently promoted teams into the Premier League, and you know, I'm sure that they'll survive this season. Let's be honest, I'm sure they will. So they've got some good players, haven't they? So yeah, it'll be a tough game. It'll be a tough game. Let's get it won early on. That's what we need to do. Settle ourselves down and get the 3 points, because that's what we need to do. Get your score predictors in, guys. Terry's with us, although he's not with us. He's actually on holiday. He says, Richard, have a good one, and Greg, keep up the good work. Come on, you gunners, come on, you go girls. Exactly, yeah. Good to see Terry with us, even though he's away this particular weekend. Now, the teams are in the tunnel. Bournemouth, of course, in their red and black stripes, as you would expect. And Arsenal saying this new third kit, which is, of course, very nice. My favourite one out of the three, the blue and the sort of light blue and dark blue kind of thing, which is very nice. They've got nice blue tracksuit tops. So I thought I wear my blue tracksuit today just to, because we've got our new blue kit on. The teams are coming out. There seems to be a lot of smoke around the stadium. I'm assuming it's not fog. It's just smoke from like they let off. I'm assuming it's like sort of firework kind of thing. I'm assuming it is, because it doesn't look foggy, does it? And the teams are lining up for the start of this game. Premier League's back, of course, following the international break, which wasn't a good international break for Arsenal, was it? With Bukayo Saka picking up that injury for England. But I suppose the good news is he needs a rest anyway, because he's played so many games in the last few seasons. So it's maybe given him the opportunity to get a bit of a break. And of course, we've got players to come in, Trossard and Raheem Sterling, of course, who for me needs to step up a little bit. He's been far from impressive in the appearances that he's made so far for Arsenal. He looks like almost like he's, I hate to say it, going through the motions. I'm sure he isn't. It just appears that way since he's been in the, when he's played. So we need a little bit more from Raheem Sterling. It's all very well getting a few tap-ins every so often. He needs to contribute more to the team, doesn't he? So let's start tonight here I say, well, it's going to be a tricky game. It's going to be a tricky game. Let's not think anything different. It will be a very, very tricky game for Arsenal. But obviously, it's a game that we should come away with all 3 points, and I'm sure we will, even though it may take us a little bit of time to break them down. But Bournemouth, and they're not gonna set everybody behind the ball. I'm sure they're going to play some football, but as the home team, but they're going to obviously keep it tight about not going to give us the space, are they, to play in? Because if you do that against Arsenal, you know what's going to happen. Greg's with us. Greg says, "Hi, Reg, looking forward to the win 3-1." Yeah, I think 3-1's a fair score prediction. I was thinking more 2-0, if I'm honest. I'll take a 2-0. But yeah, 3-1. Will they score against us, Bournemouth? I don't know. They've got some quality. Ben White's back, isn't he? Now, I don't know whether you saw that interview he did with who was it he did the interview with? They're walking their dogs in the park, weren't they? I saw it the other day. And it was quite interesting because Ben White keeps out the spotlight, doesn't he? He doesn't really give a lot of interviews and stuff. So it's quite interesting to see that. I enjoyed it. And it's made me see maybe Ben White in a slightly different way. It's good that he was kind of admitted himself, wasn't he? That, he's not maybe the most gifted footballer that we've got. He does the best that he can, and he's done well. I said this 2 years ago and a year ago that, our weak links in the team were Aaron Ramsdale and Ben White. And obviously Aaron Ramsdale's been moved on and replaced, and Ben White looks as though he'll be replaced by Timber when he's fit again, because that's how it's been in recent games. But Ben White does a decent job, doesn't he? And I say, after that interview the other day, I kind of looked on him in a slightly different way, shall we say. So that was nice to get to know him a little bit better. It was Ben Foster, wasn't it? They spoke to. That was it. So yeah, that was. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I think it's on YouTube. It's around. It's doing the rounds. It's a great interview, actually. That's a good insight into Ben White, his life, and him as a person as well. And it was good. I enjoyed it. Anyway, we're at the kickoff here. I say Bournemouth in the red and black, and they will be kicking off, attacking the goal to our left, and Arsenal will be kicking off to our right. There's a minute's applause here for somebody called Lord Ousley, who recently died. I'm guessing he's something to do with Bournemouth, because I've never heard of him. But it's fair enough. A minute's applause. But it actually can be Arsenal kickoff. I do apologise. It's Arsenal to kickoff. We are attacking the goal to our right, of course, in this blue kit. The first time we've worn it as well. It's nice, isn't it? The women, of course, have worn it in pre-season, didn't they? Did they wear it for one of the Champions League qualifying games? I can't remember. We have worn it, but it's the first time the men have worn it. Don't suppose they ever wear it too often, but it is a nice kit. We wore a pink one here, didn't we? Not last season, the season before, when that pink kit was out. Anyway, David Raya was all in yellow, goes long, straight from the kickoff up this near side. Kai Havertz heads it on. It's going to run all the way through to Kepa Arrizabalaga, of course, the former Chelsea goalkeeper, who was probably at the time one of the top Spanish goalkeepers in the Premier League. But of course, he's got main competition now, hasn't he? At the other end, David Raya, who's of course not only the best goalkeeper in the Premier League at the moment, obviously he's the best Spanish goalkeeper as well, isn't he? So, anyway, Bournemouth got some possession over on that far side. He is now back with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Plays it up this near side. Bournemouth playing it out from the back. Of course, they've got a Spanish manager, so we know what to expect from Bournemouth in terms of the style that they're going to play. It's going to be very similar to the style that Arsenal play, that Man City play. And as many teams play these days in the Premier League, don't they? And I say that you have to say Bournemouth have got themselves quite a decent-looking little squad, haven't they? They've got some good players, technical players. They've got some pace about them. And on this small pitch, with the crowd right on you, it's not an intimidating atmosphere. Obviously, it's Bournemouth, but it's going to be a tough game this for Arsenal. We're coming forward in these early stages here. Raheem Sterling on this near side, looks like he's going to be playing on the right. Thomas Partey wins that ball. Declan Rice on the edge of the box, but Arsenal lose out. And now Gabriel, who's captain today, by the way, Gabriel, with no Martin Odegaard, with no Bukayo Saka, still no Declan Rice as captain, which I still find baffling. But anyway, it's Gabriel, and not a bad choice, let's be honest. And of course, an Arsenal number 6 as a centre half, as captain, brings back some nice memories, doesn't it? For those of us of a certain age, you remember a fantastic number 6, one of probably Arsenal's best ever captain, certainly of modern times. But it's Gabriel today, and yeah, maybe he'd be a good choice for a long-term captain, wouldn't he? Actually, Gabriel. So I've got no issues with that, really. I still think Declan Rice is the natural choice, and I do like an England. I know it's it's probably bad to me to say. I do kind of like an English player to be captain of Arsenal for some reason. I don't know why, even though we haven't had too many recently. Anyway, Russ is with us. He says, "Evening, Rich and chatted him. I've been good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to obviously the return of the Premier League." I didn't have too many problems with the international break. Obviously the women were playing, so we focused on that. Lots going on. Hope you enjoyed the women's show last night that we did. We do every week. It was a good show. Lots to talk about. Obviously, the Arsenal women been quite a busy week, shall we say. Obviously, the men's team now, the men's side of things are very settled. A settled team, a settled manager, and fairly settled set of results as well, generally, going forward. But let's see. We've played nearly 3 minutes. Not much has happened yet. It's been a very cagey start for both teams, actually. Arsenal just trying to feel their way in. Neither team has had too much possession as of yet. And there's certainly been no chances at either goal. No goalkeepers had to produce anything other than a few passes out from the back, which Arsenal are doing now. David Raya plays it out to that far side. And then it's gone long by Captain Gabriel up that far side, but Bournemouth easily cut that out. Now they can try and come forward themselves. Arsenal pressing quite high up the pitch, quite early press it is for Arsenal. And I'm sure Bournemouth would have been expecting that. Two managers know each other very well, of course. And at the moment, the ball is at the feet of the Bournemouth goalkeeper, Kappa Azabalaga. Plays it out that far side. And, it's just kept in, is it? Or was it? It was kept in just. It wasn't a great ball, actually, from the Bournemouth goalkeeper. But he goes long this time. But that's an easy header away there by Gabriel. Trossard's battling away for it, but loses out, actually. Does win the ball back, but it breaks to Bournemouth over on that far side. They're looking to try and get in there. It was Otara there, but now Arsenal picks up possession. Mikel Merino, his first start for Arsenal in the Premier League. And he's done well there to win that ball back. And Arsenal just keeping possession. Declan Rice now almost dropped into the centre-half position. Plays the ball up this near side to William Saliba. Scored here, of course, a couple of years ago in another big Arsenal victory. We've had some good wins, haven't we, in the last couple of years? But obviously, this is a different Bournemouth team. It's a different game, different set of circumstances, and we've got to go out there and win this game from scratch. They all start 0-0, don't they? We need to make sure that we come away with all 3 points here. However, we have to do it. We have to find a way. Anyway, David Raya now is going to go long this time, looking for the header of Kai Havertz, who wins the header, but no one's quite near him. But he manages to flick it on himself, actually. And then Declan Rice plays it again to Kai Havertz, takes it well on his chest. He'll have, of course, good memories of this ground, won't he? Getting his first goal here last season with the penalty. And, of course, his confidence looked to be shot to pieces at that particular point. But I do think that really helped. Ben White's just conceded an unnecessary foul there, but pushing the back. And the referee, by the way, is Rob Jones. And that was an easy decision for the referee there, wasn't it? Pushing the back by Ben White. And it is a free kick to Bournemouth on this near side. Arsenal going to have some defending to do. We've played 5.5 minutes. And the free kick is going to be taken by Marcus Tavernier on this near side. Lewis Cook always comes across as well. The Bournemouth captain. Arsenal have got a load of players in the box, and Bournemouth not too many. Alex Scott's making his way in there now. And Bournemouth cause us some problems here from this set piece. Unnecessarily given away, sort of when you don't want to concede a goal from. Although looking at the results today, the team that scored first haven't generally won, have they? Anyway, it's a free kick on this near side. It's going to be Tavernier, is it? No, it's not. It's Lewis Cook to the walls, the far post. It's headed out. I'm not sure which Arsenal defender it was that headed it out, but Mikel Merino's just won the ball back. And then it's a free kick. That's a throw to Arsenal right in that bottom corner over on that far side. Oliver said, what's your score prediction? Mine's 2-0. 2-0 to Arsenal. I think we'll have a little bit too much for Bournemouth today. What's yours, my friend? Let me know what your score prediction is. Greg went 3-1 as well to Arsenal. So I think we're all expecting Arsenal to win, aren't we? Let's be honest. But I don't think it's, certainly the opening 7 minutes here have been anything but comfortable for Arsenal. And Bournemouth are in possession again over on that far side. It's a throw-in, actually. And they're looking to try to get an early foothold in this game. They've started pretty well, Bournemouth. trying to come forward over on that far side, but Arsenal get a block in, and the ball goes all the way back to Azabalaga, the Bournemouth former Chelsea goalkeeper, of course. But that was quite easily picked off there by Ben White. Now it's with William Saliba. Goes back to goalkeeper David Raya, and Arsenal just trying to feel their way in, it feels like, at the minute. We're just knocking some passes around without really looking particularly threatening. Of course, we're going to have to play a slightly different way without Bukayo Saka in the team. He's so important, isn't he, to the way that we play. Without Martin Odegaard as well, two of our more creative players. It's, you know, we need others to step up today. Leandro Trossard, for example, just won the ball over on that far side, but his pass was a little bit too far behind Kai Havertz. And Arsenal would pick the ball up again over on that far side, but not for long because we just lost it. It's a bit scrappy to play so far. 8 minutes, very, very scrappy. Ricardo Calafiori there. Ball bounced off him. It's going to be a throw to Bournemouth over on that far side. So Mikel Merino, of course, another the two main signings. Oliver says, I say 2-1 to Arsenal, Semenyo to score. Yeah, he's their threat, isn't he? He's their danger man. Absolutely he is. Anton Semenyo. And the Bournemouth got a corner. They have got a corner. The first corner of the game. It was William Saliba came across there. That was on Evan Ilson. And it is a corner to Bournemouth. Let's have a look at the replay of that. I think it did probably come off William Saliba there. Probably was a corner. It is a corner. It's been given anyway over on that far side, and Bournemouth with an early threat again. They just had a free kick, which Arsenal defended pretty well. We are now going to have to defend another set piece. It's going to be Marcus Tavernier on that far side with his corner. He looks like he's going to curl it in with his left foot, which he does towards the near post. Poor corner, actually cleared away quite easy. That was by Arsenal, but the second ball was put back in again. It's a poor ball, actually. And now Arsenal on the counter-attack over on that far side with Leandro Trossard looking to find a little bit of space. Good defending, though, from Bournemouth. Forced him back. But Arsenal keep possession. Thomas Partey now plays it into Kai Havertz on this near side. Ben White's gone out on the overlap. What's the cross like? It wasn't a bad cross, but it's deflected behind by Senesi, and it is going to be a corner to Arsenal now. Corner from at one end becomes a corner at the other end, and now it's Arsenal's chance. First corner, and we know how dangerous we are from these situations. Gabriel is going in there. Russ says, I say 2-1 to the Arsenal. Yeah, we'll take 2-1, won't we? Any victory. I always say, don't care if we win 1-0 or 6-0. It's still 3 points at the end of the day. And that's what you've got to keep doing, racking up those 3 points. So Declan Rice is going to take this corner for Arsenal on this near side. We've been very dangerous from these situations. We know that. Gabriel in particular, the captain. The corner comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Bournemouth deal with this one. And then it's hoofed away. And Bournemouth, anywhere will do from those Arsenal corners, of course. It's where we've really improved, haven't we, in the last year or so with goals from set pieces. And Gabriel in particular is very dangerous, but he couldn't get on the end of that one, and Bournemouth did scramble it away. We played 10.5 minutes at the Vitality Stadium here on the South Coast. It's been a very late, almost feels like late summer. The weather this weekend today, it's certainly up here. I'm not sure what it's like down there. It looks okay. We've had some real good sunshine and warm temperatures, but I think it's about to get quite a lot worse. So let's make the most of the nice weather while we've still got it. I know there's been rain elsewhere in the country today, but it looks nice down in Bournemouth, down on the South Coast. Lovely part of the world. Bournemouth is a nice little seaside place, nice town. Spent a lot of time there over the years. And Bournemouth are now coming forward. That long ball's going to go all the way through to David Raya. 11.5 minutes played. It's not been the most exciting game, let's be honest. It hasn't been the most exciting game at all. It's been quite slow. And, well, I would say boring, but maybe uneventful would be a better way to describe it so far. But it's very early, of course. We've only played 11.5 minutes. And it is still Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. David Raya's in possession on the edge of his penalty and not really closed down. Plays it out to that far side. And Arsenal trying to build and attack Declan Rice. And it goes back to David Raya again. not exactly, I say, the most entertaining of games so far. And sometimes, you have an international break, and you might go into the break with a bit of momentum built up, and then you have a break and the players are away, and then you don't get a full kind of week's preparation in training and stuff, and it does tend to lead sometimes to some bitty performances. So this is why this is a game where it's just a matter of getting those 3 points, isn't it? It doesn't matter how we play, really. It's just a matter of trying to find a way to win the game. And obviously, if we can play well as well, that'll be a bonus, won't it? But we shall see. Hi, Rich. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Arsenal coming forward now. Mikel Merino plays the ball out to that far side to Leandro Trossard. Decent first touch, but the Bournemouth defender there steps in and put it out for a throw, which Arsenal have taken quickly. 13 minutes played at the Vitality Stadium, and Bournemouth almost bring the ball there, but Ben White lofts it forward, but there's no Arsenal player there. And Bournemouth pick up possession again. Now it's back with Kepa. Azabalaga plays a long ball up towards halfway, but William Saliba steps in. Now Thomas Partey and Arsenal trying to come forward up this near side. Raheem Sterling battles away for the ball there, but he's lost out. Firm challenge it was actually, and Bournemouth come away with the ball. Sterling needed to be a little bit stronger there. And now Bournemouth are attacking up this near side with the dangerous Semenya. That's a nice ball infield as well inside the penalty area. It was Alex Scott with a run, but William Saliba said, "No, you're not getting past me, mate," and just took the ball off him. But that ball forward wasn't great, actually, and it's now all the way back with Azabalaga again. 14 minutes played at the Vitality. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. And pretty much that scoreline tells you all you need to know about this game so far. Greg says, let's face it, we don't expect exciting football from an Arteta side. It's just a grinding victory. Well, absolutely, yeah, especially with this midfield that we've got today. It's a very pragmatic midfield, isn't it? With Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Mikel Merino. Not exactly a midfield to get you off your seat, but away from home, it's probably a decent enough midfield, isn't it? And, with the injuries that we've got, probably not a lot of other options, let's be honest. Jorginho, potentially, but it's good to see Mikel Merino, isn't it? Making his first start in the Premier League. Let's see what he's all about. Anyway, Bournemouth are in possession with Senesi at the back. And he goes back to goalkeeper Azabalaga. Of course, next week the clock's changed, so these 5:30 games will be under the lights, won't they? Going forward next week. And of course, there's a Champions League game coming up as well, isn't there? Or Super League, I should say. Sorry, I do apologise. Bournemouth play a long ball up this near side. William Saliba's there and doesn't take too many risks there, just hooks it forward. And Arsenal trying to get possession up this near side, but that's going to be a throw to Bournemouth. Mikel Merino couldn't quite get enough on that. And Bournemouth have taken a throw and they go back to the goalkeeper again. It is not the most exciting game so far. And we've played 16 minutes. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. And yeah, no shots. Not really anything to tell you about the game at all. It's been really, really poor. And Arsenal play off in the back. David Raya, that's a mistake. Giving it straight to Bournemouth. A shot comes in from the edge of the box, but it's over the top of the crossbar from Semenyo. David Raya there. We was just saying he's the best Spanish goalkeeper in the Premier League, and he just passed it straight to a Bournemouth player there. That was a terrible, terrible ball. And in the end, Arsenal got away with it because Semenyo's shot went high over the crossbar, but that was a little let off there for Arsenal. And David Raya, I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. Not quite sure what he was thinking. He's got the ball at his feet again. And he goes out wide this time over on that far side. And Arsenal do manage to bring the ball forward now. It's with Kai Havertz, plays up this near side to Raheem Sterling. First chance to have a real run at this Bournemouth defence. Cuts infield. This is a good run from Sterling. He couldn't quite get his shot away. He needed a shot first time when he cut inside, really, but he wanted an extra touch. And the chance went away. And Bournemouth managed to clear the ball up the pitch. It is now back with David Raya again. That was not great from Sterling. Look, initially it was. He did well to cut inside. Then you've got to shoot. And he won an extra touch, which he was never going to be able to get. And he lost the ball. He's in possession again now, Raheem Sterling on this near side. Plays it back to Ben White, infield to Thomas Partey. Throws a little ball into Mikel Merino on the edge of the box. Plays it square. Declan Rice, can he get a shot away? No, he can't. Trossard will. Hits the Bournemouth defender. And comes out as far as Ricardo Calafiore. 1 goal already for him. It was his first start. He scored. I wonder if Mikel Merino can join him. Second new signing of the summer, of course. Maybe we'll get off the mark in his first start as well. We'll see. Anyway, Arsenal are knocking the ball around now in the Bournemouth half. And it comes up this near side now to Raheem Sterling. Looked for a 1-2. Wasn't a great ball inside. And Bournemouth pick it up again. And Bournemouth actually have looked fairly comfortable so far in this game. You have to say they've not really, they don't look as though they've been stretched at all yet by us. And they're in possession themselves now. Alex Scott plays it square to Lewis Cook, the captain of Bournemouth, of course, long-serving player. Gets the ball back again and finds Senesi. And Bournemouth now just comfortable possession around halfway. That's a good ball forward there by Alex Scott. Not, of course, the former Arsenal women's player, BBC presenter Alex Scott, who plays for Bournemouth, and they're coming forward again. And was it Semenyo went down on the edge of the box there? Referee was not interested. I don't think it was a foul anyway. And Arsenal now can keep possession over on that far side, and the ball goes back to Gabriel. Now it's back with the goalkeeper, David Raya. It is not a very exciting game. It is not very exciting at all. So far, it's still early days. It may well kick into life. But so far, it's not been great. Anyway, Bournemouth are coming forward now up this near side. Rare attack from them. It is Senesi coming forward, their defender. And in the end, he just goes back. That's been a pattern of this game so far. Every time somebody comes forward, makes 4 or 5 strides forward, the ball ends up being passed backwards. And that tends to be what's been happening here. But now Bournemouth over on that far side. Suddenly now they're coming forward inside the penalty area. Cross comes in, it's blocked. And Arsenal managed to get it away. It was Gabriel there with the initial block. And then Bournemouth have conceded a free kick. I was wondered maybe how Bournemouth would cope without Dominic Solanke. Of course, sold to Spurs in the summer. And maybe the goals are going to be a problem for them to try to sort out. They're probably not going to score enough goals, are they? That's going to be their issue, I think, this season. Although, as I say, Semenyo steps up with a couple this season already. So, you know, they just need to find a way, don't they, now, without Dominic Solanke, of course, scored over 20 goals last season for Bournemouth, which was obviously an important part of their survival. Anyway, David Raya now takes his free kick long into the Bournemouth, towards the Bournemouth penalty. It's dealt with pretty well, actually. You know, Arsenal trying to come forward. Declan Rice over on that far side. Can he win the corner? Which is what Arsenal like to do. He said he plays it back to Ricardo Calafiore, touches it off to Gabriel, puts a cross in. It's not a bad cross, actually. It was headed away by Bournemouth, and now Ben White steps in. Thomas Partey comes to Kai Havertz, finds Raheem Sterling. Arsenal turning up the pressure here. Sterling chips the ball towards the far post, but it's a poor ball, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. I think Sterling's haircut is probably not helping his performances, if I'm honest. That was really poor there. It was a dinked ball, wasn't really going to anybody. And it's gone behind for a goal kick to Bournemouth. 21 minutes played. It comes towards a half-time. Halfway point, so not half-time, halfway point in his first half. And this game is yet to catch fire, or yet to catch, you know, well, really get going, if we're honest. The two teams so far just cancelling each other out. And it has been quite poor. Anyway, Arsenal now, Mikel Merino coming forward, finds Sterling again on this near side. Is this going to be better from Sterling? Plays into the box. It isn't better from Sterling. It's cut out. And then Thomas Partey won the ball back, but the referee has given a free kick. And he now has a little word there with Thomas Partey. Again, Sterling's ball was really poor on the edge of the box. I don't think Thomas Partey can have any complaints at all about that free kick given. He may well have won the ball, but you can't really dive in like that without giving away a free kick these days in the Premier League. It was on Alex Scott, actually, and it is a free kick to Bournemouth here at the Vitality Stadium. Is it the smallest stadium in the Premier League? It must be, mustn't it? Surely it's the smallest stadium in the Premier League. Anyway, Bournemouth are trying to come forward up this near side now with Semenya. Plays it back to Senesi. And Bournemouth play some nice, moving the ball around well. I'd also say they play some nice football. It's just nice and safe football, but they're keeping possession well. They're making it difficult for us. We haven't managed to create any chances yet at all. It says one shot on target, one shot each. None on target. I'm not sure. Have we had a shot? Bournemouth had a shot, didn't they? When David Raya gave the ball away. I don't remember Arsenal having a shot. Have we had a shot? I don't think we have. I think that stat's wrong. I'll dispute that stat. I don't think we have had a shot. Not that Bournemouth shot was as much cop either, did it? Anyway, it's a free kick to Arsenal, which Ben White is going to take on this near side. A bit unsure what to do with it, so just plays it short to Thomas Partey. Mikel Merino does well. Kai Havertz, and now it's Declan Rice plays it out to that far side. Leandro Trossard, Ricardo Calafiori's gone around the outside. A cross comes in though instead. It wasn't a great cross towards the near post, and it's cleared away by Zabranyi, the Ukrainian. Arsenal's Ukrainian. Thankfully, he's on the bench where he should stay. Anyway, Calafiori is going to take this throw for Arsenal on that far side. Arsenal's left. Looking for the breakthrough here. 24 minutes. The throw comes into the penalty. It's flicked on by Kai Havertz, but Bournemouth can get it away. Oh, that's really good play there by Semenya, but actually the ball hit the heels of his teammate and Arsenal can come forward. That's a poor ball. And now Bournemouth can come forward again. They've got a few players looking to get forward here, but Mikel Merino stuck out a leg, managed to divert that pass, and he's got it back to David Raya, and Arsenal trying to come forward again. It's back with the goalkeeper. David Raya. Again, Arsenal trying to play it out from the back, which you think we should be good at it by now. We've done it long enough. But it still gives me a heart attack every time we try and do it because it just does. Anyway, Kai Havertz plays it back to William Saliba now. Declan Rice finds the goalkeeper. Declan Rice has got it again. Plays the ball forward to Kai Havertz. And again, Arsenal have lost it high up the pitch. And we're causing some problems for ourselves here. And Bournemouth have got the ball with Semenya on this near side. And Arsenal trying to overplay it a little bit there. Not the first time we've done that, is it? Let's be honest. Anyway, Alex Scott touches the ball off there into midfield to Tavernier. And now Bournemouth looking to come forward over on that far side. But that wasn't a great ball. Easily cut out by Leandro Trossard. Now he finds Kai Havertz, touches it off over on that far side to Mikel Merino. Plays it infield. Thomas Partey striding forward. He's got options left and right. He's going to go himself, is he? In the end, he didn't do anything. He held on to the ball for too long. And Bournemouth are coming forward again now. So the game's opening up a little bit. Become a little bit more exciting to watch as both teams are now looking to play on a counter-attack a little bit. But Bournemouth back in possession again. 26 minutes played. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0 from the Vitality Stadium. I'm sure it's still called the Vitality Stadium. I'm guessing it is. Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward again over on that far side. Always a misjudgment there. And it was Otera there. Conceded a free kick. And Arsenal take that quickly. Thomas Partey, again, it's a little bit of a loose ball. And he put Mikel Merino under a bit of pressure there. And Arsenal, again, a little bit sloppy, you have to say, in possession. We are trying to come forward now. That's good defending there by Zabrensky. He plays it back to goalkeeper Kepa Azabalaga. Goes up that far side. Arsenal picks up this. Oh, that's not a great ball. Oh, and that's a foul. And that could well be a yellow card. Could even be a red card. He'd got the wrong side there. The Bournemouth fans are screaming for a red card. The referee's taking his time. I think it's going to be yellow. It is a yellow for William Saliba. Got caught out there. It was a long way from goal. Was he last man? He may well have been. It was inside the centre circle. He did pull him back. It was on Evanilson there. He may be a bit fortunate not to get a red card there. There's no covering defender. It's a long way from goal, you have to say, and that may have been what influenced the decision there. But I think he's a bit fortunate, actually, William Saliba. I think he is a bit fortunate there not to have got a red card, because that would be what you would consider to be a professional foul. In fact, it looks as though it's gone to a VAR check because the referee is not allowing him to take this free kick yet, Bournemouth. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets overruled and becomes a red, because he's got the wrong side there. And there's no covering defender. He's a long way from goal, but he's last man. He's last man, and he's pulled him back. I think this will be a red card. If VAR get involved in this, you have to say it's a professional foul in the sense that he's clean for one goal. Yes, it's inside the centre circle. It's a long way from goal. It's going to VAR. The referee's going to go to the screen. The referee's been told to go to the screen. That's interesting, isn't it? William Saliba's got a nervy weight. Russ says he's going. I think he might well be going. It looks a red card for me. I wasn't sure if there was a covering defender at first, but when you see the replay, there isn't. The other defenders are miles away from him. I think this will be a red card. I'll be surprised if it isn't. He's clean. He's through on goal. He's ahead of William Saliba. William Saliba goes through. There's no covering defender. I mean, if it's not a red card, then maybe we can stop all this going on about, conspiracies against Arsenal. This should be a red card. William Saliba should be off. And I don't think there's much doubt about that in my mind. If that's the other way around, we're screaming for a red card there, aren't we? Should be a red card. He's the wrong side, Saliba. He's pulled him back. I think he's going to give this as a red card. He is. He's changing his mind. It's going to be a red card. William Saliba is off. I don't think we can have too many complaints about that. I think that is the right decision. It's not ideal for us at all. It does mean it's a straight red card. It's a free match ban for William Saliba to add to our other issues with injuries. Not what we needed. Russ says not a goal scoring opportunity. Well, of course it is. He's clean for one goal. He's clean for one goal, the guy, isn't he? If he doesn't get fouled, he's clean. There's no defender near him. He's got a 20-yard run at goal on his own. Of course, it's a goal scoring opportunity. It's not a clear goal scoring opportunity. It's not inside the penalty area, but he's got a clean run on goal. We would be fuming if that wasn't a red card for us. I think it's the right decision. It is the right decision. We've got Twelumba with us. How you doing, my friend? He says, evening, and to you. Hope you are doing well. Rajendra says, he wasn't offside. He wasn't offside. It definitely wasn't offside. It came off our player. So it's not offside. It was, I think it's the right decision. We can complain all we like, but it's no point. It was the right decision. He's clean through it. The guy's clean through. He's ahead of William Saliba with a clean run through on goal. Of course, it's a red card. Now Arsenal have got it all to do. It's going to be a backs to the wall job. We don't tend to play too well with 10 men usually, do we? Anyway, Bournemouth are coming forward. They've got the bit between their teeth now. They've got a throw. I'm not quite sure how we're going to organise this in terms of who's going to be playing at the back. Is Ricardo? It looks like Ricardo Calafiore has gone in there at the moment. And Leandro Trossard's having to drop back and play almost like a left-back position. Anyway, Semenyo now, Bournemouth, with the bit between their teeth. They sent something here. Arsenal down to 10. A cross comes in. Oh, it's a good header away that time by Mikel Merino. It was. Declan Rice picks the ball up. It's going to be hands to the pump a little bit for Arsenal. Kev says, I don't think Bournemouth are good enough to capitalise. Well, to be honest with you, I think any team in the Premier League are good enough to capitalise. They are. It depends how we play now, doesn't it? Quite often when we've gone down to 10 men in the past, we go into ourselves, we invite pressure on, and we end up being punished. If we do that here, it could be a dangerous game. I think we've got enough quality on the pitch to be able to keep the ball. But obviously it's become a lot more difficult, hasn't it? Become a lot more difficult. And this is what you mean. This is what I say in the Premier League. Yeah. On paper, you look at the game for Arsenal should win. Of course, we should win, but now with 10 men, it's become a hell of a task, isn't it? It's going to be so difficult. But we're good enough to get a result here. We're good enough to win this game with 10 men. But let's see, Bournemouth coming forward up this near side. They will sense this could be a day for a famous victory. They've only ever beaten Arsenal once in their history. They'll be fancying their chance for a second one. Semenyo with a shot. And that's a great block there from Gabriel, who's really going to have to step up here, isn't he? The captain today, he's going to have to play a captain's role, and he did there. That was great defending. This was nice play from Bournemouth, actually. Lovely little touch off there. Semenyo was in. He tried to fire a shot, which would have gone across David Raya. Good block from Gabriel. It's a corner to Arsenal. It's a corner to Bournemouth on this near side. Wow, it's been an interesting turn of events in this game. Not much had happened. It was quite dull, but it's certainly livened up a bit now, and Arsenal are going to have a lot of defending to do, you feel, in the rest of this game. But it's a corner to Bournemouth. We've got some defending to do now. The corner goes short to the edge of the box. Now the cross comes in towards the far post, but it's an Arsenal head that gets there. And Bournemouth, though, pick up the second ball. They're coming forward again. Bournemouth, they're looking good here, but it's not a great ball, is it? It's going to run through to David Raya. But are Bournemouth good enough to capitalise? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. It's certainly not ideal, is it? And you certainly don't really want to be playing so long in a match. What, 27, 28 minutes when he got the red card? You don't want to be playing that long with 10 men. So we're going to have to see what we can do if we're going to find a way to get the result here, whether it's a win or a draw. Of course, bearing in mind, Arsenal are still unbeaten in all competitions this season so far, but this will be one of our biggest tests so far, won't it? Having to play 10 men. We've obviously played with 10 men before this season. Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward now. They've taken that free kick quickly. It's Evanilson on this near side with Ben White for company. Sorry, that was a foul by Ben White. The referee says no, actually. Look, again, Ben White pushed him over, but the referee says no, and Arsenal just about get away with it. There's a little bit of space forward here for Leandro Trossard. He's going to need some support as well, actually, Trossard, and then plays the ball up this near side to Raheem Sterling. And Arsenal will still be dangerous, won't they, on counter-attacks, unless, of course, Sterling gets the ball, then we're not going to be dangerous. So that's not a bad cross, actually. It's a poor header. Shot comes in just wide. It was Mikel Merino there, looking to mark his first start with his first goal. Greg says the Arteta tactics can't cope with 10 men. If we get a goal, we'll defend for our lives. Well, yeah, we're going to probably defend for our lives anyway. Kev says they've been lacking firepower of late, bar Semenyo. Well, no, they have. But they've got quality to cause us problems. They have already caused us some problems. And yes, Semenyo is their main threat. Of course he is. We know that. They've also got Sinisterra on the bench as well. I think he's a good player. Louis Sinisterra, of course, he was at Leeds, wasn't he, when they was in the Premier League? He's decent. They've got Justin Kluivert on the bench as well, who's from a very famous family, of course. And so they've got some threats off the bench as well, haven't they? But let's see. I think Bournemouth are going to change their tactics now. And they're coming forward again. This is nice play again from Bournemouth. Oh, and we've just lost out on the edge of the box. And Evanilson tries a shot. It's blocked. Bournemouth still in possession up this near side with Semenyo. Cuts in field. He's going to try a shot. Oh, he's turned two Arsenal defenders. Shot at the near post. David Raya pushes it wide. Good save. That was really good play by Semenyo. He said he's the threat. He has been the threat. What a turn there. He left two Arsenal players in his tracks and then got the shot away as well. And it was a good save at the near post by David Raya. Was obviously straight at him, but he's got to keep it. Anyway, Arsenal now making the change. They're bringing Jacob Kiwior on. Wondered what Mikel Arteta would do. They did have a discussion. It's going to be Raheem Sterling to go off. And you have to say that that's probably fair enough. He hadn't done much in the time he was on in any case. And now we're going to get Jacob Kiwior. Is Jacob Kiwior going to play left back and Calafiori stay at centre back? Or is Jacob Kiwior going to go in at centre back and get Calafiori back to left back again? We'll soon find out. Both left footed, of course. And Raheem Sterling is going off. So his game lasted 36 minutes. I always feel a little bit sorry for a player who goes off because someone else has been sent off. You feel a bit sorry for them, don't you? But in this case, not really, because he wasn't really doing much, was he? And it's better to get another defender on, having lost William Saliba. Anyway, so corner to Bournemouth on this near side. Corner comes in from Lewis Cook towards the near post, headed out by Arsenal, but Bournemouth pick up the second ball on the edge of the box. A chance for a shot. It's deflected. It's going to be another corner to Bournemouth. They're certainly ramping up this pressure into the last 9 minutes of this first half. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0, but Arsenal down to 10 men. William Saliba is off for a professional foul. It was originally a yellow card, and the VAR told referee to look at the screen, and he changed his mind, and I think it was the right decision. And it is a corner to Bournemouth again, which Tavernier is going to take with his left foot from that far side, curling it in. And Arsenal got some more defending to do. That again, it's not a great corner, though, is it? That's twice. Tavernier's corners haven't been very, very good. Easily defended at the near post. That was by Kai Havertz. But Bournemouth are still in possession. It's going to be Celessi now. Can he get the cross in? The Bournemouth defender. They're coming forward again. It is Semenya on this near side. He is a real danger, isn't he? He's a good player. Anyway, Bournemouth still in possession, moving the ball sideways. Now it's over on that far side. Bournemouth will fancy their chances. There's no doubt they will definitely fancy their chances of getting something from this game now. So it would be only a second ever victory should they do it. Anyway, they've got the ball now. Senesi crosses it in towards the far post. Not a great cross, headed away by Kai Havertz again. And Declan Rice over in that left back position. Manages to get the ball up line, but again, Arsenal can't keep the ball at all. But we're going to have a bit more of a go now. Thomas Partey plays it back to Jacob Kiwior. Looks like he's actually dropped into the right centre-half position where William Saliba was playing. He's very left-footed. It's quite tricky playing there, and Arsenal giving the ball away again with a loose pass. But Thomas Partey picks up possession again for Arsenal. We've played nearly 39 minutes here on the South Coast. And it is 0-0, but as we say, Arsenal down to 10. William Saliba seen red. And that was surely a handball inside the centre circle. The referee says no, it's play on, and Bournemouth coming forward on this near side. They've played well, Bournemouth, actually. Semenyo goes around the outside. Can he get the cross? And he's overplayed that. It's gone behind for a goal kick. A little bit too much there, he did, didn't he? Semenya, the Ghanaian. He's a tricky player, isn't he? Mikel Arteta is again in talks there with Nikola Jovic. And Arsenal need to... Mikel Arteta isn't very good, is he, with 10 men? You've got to say he's not very good at dealing. He's not very good at dealing with adversity in general, any adversity in a game. You know, unless everything's perfect, unless everything goes exactly to his plan, he doesn't really know what to do. And this is very, very early. We're down to 10 men, and I think that it's going to make this really difficult. But obviously, we've got the quality on the pitch to be able to create some chances, and who knows. But I'm not overly confident now that we can get a win here today. In fact, we might do well to come away with a draw. Playing with 10 men for time. That's a long ball over the top. That's going to run all the way through to David Raya. And we're into the last 5 minutes of the first half. There'll be a bit of stoppage time, of course. There was a delay for that VAR check. And, I mean, let me know what you guys think watching, but I thought that was probably the right decision. So I wanted to see a replay to see if there was a covering defender, but there wasn't. And yes, the only argument really against it is the fact it was he's a long way from goal. Anyway, Semenya now is coming forward. He's gone past Jacob Kiwior a little bit too easy. Drills across him, but David Raya there. He's dropped the ball. Shot comes in from Tavernier. It's blocked, and David Raya did well initially, but again, he couldn't hold the ball. He's had a little bit of a shaky game here, David Raya. Again, Semenya's causing the problems, but Bournemouth have got a corner which they've taken quickly. Ball into the box. Shot comes in. Again, it's blocked. Again to the edge of the box. Bournemouth, they've got some space. Again, it is Alex Scott. Plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. Semenya now. Bournemouth really ramping up the pressure before half-time. Cross comes in, headed away. It's going to be another corner to Bournemouth. And Arsenal are rocking here. And David Raya has had one or two really strange moments here. Cross came in there from Semenya and he dropped the ball. David Raya, the follow-up there from Tavernier. And it went wide for a corner. In fact, was it David Raya that made it? Oh, he made a good save, actually, second time round with his foot. That's a really good save, actually. In fact, it's a goal kick to Arsenal, not a corner. Kev says, yeah, you're spot on. Great commentary, by the way. And thank you very much, my friend. Good to have you with us. Thanks for your comments. Anyway, it's a goal kick to Arsenal, but we're rocking a little bit here, aren't we? Coming up towards half-time. We just need to, David Raya takes a deep breath before he takes that goal kick, and I think we all need to take a bit of a deep breath for Arsenal, because we're really struggling here to get a grip on this game. But we have got a throw now on this near side, and you feel it's going to be a long second half here, don't you? You really do feel. In fact, it's a free kick to Arsenal on this near side. You do feel it's going to be a long second half here. In fact, the free kick's on halfway, and it's going to be Thomas Partey with it. Semenya actually he moves the ball back where the referee told him to, and the referee saying he's adding on the time here for time wasting. And I'm sure you're going to see a lot more time wasting from Arsenal in the second half if it stays like this. Anyway, Ben White's going to take this free kick eventually. Goes long over to that far side. It's an Arsenal head, but Bournemouth win the second one. And Otero couldn't keep it in. It's going to be a throw, which Ricardo Calafiore is going to take. He throws it up the line. Headed away again by Bournemouth. And Arsenal can't keep possession. We want it back again now. Ricardo Calafiore plays it back. And now it's got all the way back to goalkeeper David Raya. We're into the last 2 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half. And Arsenal up against it on the south coast of Bournemouth coming forward again. They've got a player over on this near side. Semenya could have dug it out. He couldn't quite manage to. And Arsenal got away with that one there. They had a player over. There's going to be spaces built later on in this game in particular. There's going to be more and more spaces building up, isn't there? As Arsenal try and hang on with 10 men. It's a throw to Bournemouth over on that far side. So they've taken quickly into the last 90 seconds of the first half. We'll play that to that far side. Bournemouth looking dangerous. Otero it is. Bournemouth knocking it around here. Trying to find some space. Trying to create that overload. They've got an extra man, remember. William Saliba has been sent off. He's going to get a free match ban. It was a straight red card. So not only have we got injuries to key players, we've now got a suspension as well. Not ideal, is it, for Arsenal at all? And this is where, you know, last season, and to a certain extent the season before, for most of it, we were quite fortunate, weren't we, with the players that we lost through injury and stuff like that. Whereas this season, it's not been the same story at all, has it? It's all coming all at once, isn't it? It's all coming on us all at once. Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward again over on that far side, but Calafiore wins that header, and it's cleared away by Arsenal. It's just kicked anywhere at the moment, it will do. But the ball keeps coming back. Arsenal just can't keep possession. We just cannot keep possession, which is surprising, isn't it? Because that's our strength, keeping possession of the ball. And we've not managed to do it since we went down to 10 men. We're going to find out how much stoppage time there'll be. My guess is 3 minutes, which was mainly for that entire VAR check. There's not been too many other stoppages. Of course, it might be a bit more added on for some time wasting. And Bournemouth playing some nice football here on the edge of the box. But Mikel Merino wins it back for Arsenal. That's what he's very good at. How much stoppage time is there going to be? Oh, there's 4 minutes in actual fact. And Arsenal now coming forward. Kai Havertz up this near side. He's got Ben White close to him. Ben White's now on an overlap. Can he get the ball? He does. Plays it back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice gets it back off Thomas Partey. Now Declan Rice inside the penalty area. Can he get the cross in? He does, but it's a Bournemouth defender there. Then Thomas Partey on the volley. Goes wide. And you feel Arsenal aren't going to get that many chances in this game. So we need to make the most of when we do. Declan Rice did well. And then when it was cleared away, Thomas Partey hit it on the volley. It's going to take something special to score from there with the ball dropping from the sky. He couldn't keep it down. It's gone behind. And it is a goal kick. We've played virtually a minute of the 4 of stoppage time, which we're going to be getting. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. But Arsenal are down to 10 men, of course. William Saliba sent off. That will be the talking point of this first half, won't it? Not too much else has happened, but Bournemouth in behind here on this near side. It's Evan Ilson tries a cross. Good defending that was there from Jacob Kiwior. Going to be another corner, though, for Bournemouth as we approach half-time. I don't think that was offside either. I think that would have counted. It is going to be a corner. Good defending that was there from Jacob Kiwior. He can get caught out by pace, can't he? But he did well there. It is another corner to Bournemouth. They've had quite a few in this first half. Arsenal defended them pretty well. Can they defend this one as well? Lewis Cook again with it towards the far post. David Raya there. Comfortable catch by the Arsenal goalkeeper, who's had a couple of shaky moments in this first half. He's also made a couple of good saves. as well. And he's now got the ball in his hands. We're into the last minute of stoppage time. David Raya goes long. Kai Havertz looking to win that ball, but he didn't. Although Arsenal have picked up possession now with Thomas Partey, touches it back to Calafiore. And that goes all the way back to David Raya again. I think Arsenal are going to be quite happy just to make it to half-time at 0-0. Bournemouth have looked much more threatening in this first half, particularly since the red card. Even before the red card, you have to say Arsenal hadn't played particularly well. They hadn't created anything at all. And now again, Bournemouth can try and get in behind with the pace of Semenyo. He just clips Ben White there. And it is a free kick to Arsenal. And the referee there with a wry smile on his face. I don't think they have too many complaints about that. They're showing the red card. Yeah, I mean, it is a red card, isn't it? We don't want it to be a red card, but it is a red card. It was a mistake, actually. Was it Trossard played the ball through and then, Saliba's on the wrong side. And, yeah, you can see there's no defender anywhere near him. And, anyway, we have played 4 minutes. No, we haven't. We've only played 3 minutes of stoppage time, haven't we? Sorry, I can't add up today. We're into the last minute of stoppage time now. That free kick from David Raya. Bournemouth do win the header and then they clear the ball away again. It feels like Arsenal are going to have to keep the ball better than this if we're going to come away from this game with anything at all. David Raya's hoof clearance inside the centre circle again. Bournemouth pick it up. They're coming forward again with Evanilson over on that far side, touches it off. Bournemouth going to get one more chance. That's a poor cross, so it's gone out behind for a goal kick. And that may well be that for this first half. It was difficult for Arsenal before the red card. It's become even more difficult, obviously, since. But it is still 0-0. And I'm pretty sure at this point, we'd probably take a 0-0, wouldn't we, really? And go home with a point and keep our unbeaten run going. And put this one behind us. And there goes a half-time whistle. And, yes, difficult first half that for Arsenal. We didn't really create anything. Well, we had 11 players, did we? Let's be honest. It was really flat, really poor. And Bournemouth were probably the slightly better team anyway. And then, of course, there was a red card. William Saliba pulled back Evanilson, who was going to be clean through on goal. Yes, it was inside the centre circle, but I think it was the right decision. David Raya is now talking to the referee and asking why. I don't think we can have any complaints about that. Obviously, we will. Mikel Arteta will no doubt cry about it for 2 hours after the game, but he's got no right to. I thought it was a red card. It was the right decision. Chan says, is it worth to get a red? I think it was, yeah. I think it was. If put it this way, he got the wrong side of William Saliba, and he's clean through on goal, clean run on goal, isn't he? I think it has to be a red card. It has to be. Greg says, even with 10 men, we just haven't got going. Can't see much change second half. No, I agree with you. We looked poor before the goal, didn't we? I mean, let's have a look at some stats from that first half. Well, I don't think we had a shot on target. In fact, I know we didn't. I know that we didn't. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look at the stats. There we go. Yeah, no shots on target. Bournemouth have had 2. I don't remember him having 2. Oh, well, he's made a couple of saves over there, hasn't he? We've had 3 shots off target, which I don't really remember any of them, if I'm honest. Bournemouth have had 5 off target. And corners, we've had 1, and they've had 5. So there you go. So that's been the story of the first half. The possession has been 50%. Well, 51%. Well, in fact, it's been pretty much 50-50, hasn't it, in possession? But Bournemouth have had a lot more opportunities. And, yeah, they probably just about shaded. I thought they probably just shaded that first half before the red card. And obviously, they've been a much better team since the red card changed the game. Of course it has. Chan says, even with 10 men, I still believe we could make an error. Well, we could. Absolutely. Of course. We've got the quality to do it. I'm just not sure if we will. Virginia said he was in the offside position. No, he wasn't, because it was our player that played the ball. It was Leandro Trossard played the ball, so he's not offside because it was the ball is played backwards, not forwards, because our player played the ball. It was Trossard. So no, he wasn't offside. We can look and look if you want, but it was the right decision. It was the right decision. We don't like it, but that's the rules of football are there, aren't they? And that's exactly what happened. It's a red card offence. It is a red card, and unfortunately, we are now down to 10 men, and we've got a big second half to come. We've got to dig in, and we've got to try and find. We'll obviously try and find a goal to win the game, of course, but I think now it's a matter of making sure we don't lose. I think that's important, isn't it? You know, making sure we don't lose, because it'd be easy now to go on and lose this game because, you know, down to 10 men away from home. Of course it would be, but I think we'll at least get a point. I really do. But let's see. It's a big second half coming, isn't it? But yeah, disappointing Arsenal performance before the red card. Anyway, let's not look at, say, the red card. The red card's to blame. We were poor before that red card. We were really, really poor. And now it's even harder than it was already. But there you go. That's football, isn't it? And Neil's said, my friend, good to see. He said, Trossard played the ball, never off. Exactly, yeah. It was a red, but I wonder if VAR would intervene if it was another club. Well, I think they would. I mean, I was surprised the referee didn't give a red straight away. To me, that's a referee fault, because the referee should have just given him a straight red card. VAR didn't need to get involved in that if the ref's done his job properly. The ref can see, you see the ref's position, he's looking right across the pitch. He can see there's no covering defender. That was my only concern, because the TV view didn't really show whether there was a covering defender or not. I wasn't sure. And then you see a replay, you can clearly see there's not. You clearly see where the referee is. He has to make that decision himself. It was almost like the referee didn't have the courage to give a red card in the first half of a game against a player like William Saliba for Arsenal. So I think that was more in our favour. You're saying, would VAR have overturned? I don't think VAR, another club gets a straight red card there. Most clubs get a straight red card from the referee. So I don't know. Chan says, I don't blame Saliba, but if it was a goal, somehow we could make a comeback. Red cards always come when the team have too many injuries. Well, yes, sometimes. I mean, it was two mistakes, wasn't it? It was a mistake by Trossard playing the ball back in the first place, and then it was obviously a mistake by Saliba. I suppose he felt he had no option other than to do that, really, didn't he? Greg says, wouldn't it be great after this game? Arteta says he can't get the best out of these players and resigns. What takes a leaf out of Jonas's book? It would be nice. I've been praying for that moment for 3 or 4 years. Well, 3 years, definitely, but it's never going to happen, is it? Anyway, let's not think that's going to happen. It won't. But anyway, we just need to get on with it, really. I've kind of given up worrying too much about the manager situation at Arsenal, because Arteta's staying whether we like it or not, whether he wins anything or not. He's still staying, isn't he? But, you know, now, obviously, the game's on Sky, for those of you that don't know. Now, what that means, if you've never watched Sky before, and I would not blame you if you hadn't, they're going to spend the whole of half time discussing this sending off, mainly because there's nothing else to talk about, because the game was really, really boring. But they're going to be talking about this now. But I don't know what the discussion is. It's a straight red card. It was the right decision, and that's it. And so that's all you need to say. You don't need to analyse it for 10 minutes, which they're going to do, which they are doing. There's no covering to see. The referee's in a perfect position there, right? I blame the referee there. He's got to give a straight red card. He didn't need VAR to help him. It's almost like he lacked the courage. Almost like, well, I know VAR is going to back me up anyway. Make that decision and then see if VAR is going to overturn it, which they wouldn't do, because there's no reason for them to. You know, it's just poor. It's poor from Arsenal. It's poor all round. And yeah, we can't argue. I mean, the more replays you see it, the more of an obvious red card it looks. So yeah, I really don't know what they're. I haven't got the sound of. So I don't know what they're saying, but it's a clear red card. But anyway, it is what it is. We've got to deal with it now. We've got to be better in the second half. We've got to keep the ball better is the main thing. We've been terrible since the red card at keeping the ball. We just can't keep it at all. And yeah, we need to do better, don't we? Anyway, I am going to nip off for a cup of tea. I'll be back very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere, because we are going to watch the second half. And the second half is going to be quite tense. And it's going to be, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? So I'll be back very shortly for the second half. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. Arsenal down to 10. Can we still get a result? Well, we can. Will we still get a result? That is the question. Let's wait and see. Join me in a minute. So we're back ready for the second half coming up very shortly from the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. Greg says, what's the better? His visited comes back with his Yorkie. No, I had my Yorkie earlier, actually. I've had my Yorkie today. I only had one a day. It's no good otherwise. Jane says, yeah, come on, you check. Come on, you check. We've got a Bournemouth fan with us. Good afternoon to you. Good evening. I hope you're enjoying the game. It's going to be a tough second half for us, isn't it? But we shall see. Greg says, we need someone up front with the quality to hold the ball up when we could play long balls, taking pressure off the defence. Yeah, well, we need to keep the ball better, first of all, don't we? Which we haven't done. We didn't really do that too well before the sending off. And we've done it even worse since. Yeah, not great, shall we say. Not great at all. But let's see what... See, to me... this is where I want to see the team step up. I want to see Mikel Arteta step up and show that, you know, with 10 men, we can produce a good performance away from home and win a difficult game. This is where I want to see him step up. And so far, when we've had 10 men, we haven't really done that enough for me. We haven't really done that enough. Anyway. Bournemouth made a sub at half time because Adam Smith's come on. And Aruju's gone off for them. So defensive change, maybe a slight change of shape. It's going to be Bournemouth to kick off. They'll be attacking the goal to our right in this second half. And Arsenal haven't made any more changes. Of course, it's that one substitution that we made. Jacob Kiwior coming on for Raheem Sterling in the wake of that red card for William Saliba. We are off and underway in the second half from the Vitality Stadium down on the south coast. Bournemouth against Arsenal. Arsenal, of course, are down to 10 men. Remember, William Saliba with that red card. Let's see if Arsenal can find a solution to this problem that we've got. Ricardo Calafiori, heads that ball away. And he gets the ball again from Declan Rice and chips it up the line into Trossard, plays it back. I don't know if he meant that, but he went back to Thomas Partey anyway. You know, Arsenal can try and come forward over on that far side. If we can get ourselves a goal in the early part of this second half, you do feel as though with something to defend, we'll probably be okay. Greg says, is that another new cup? Well, it's sort of a new cup. Paula went to Holland and she got me a cup from Holland, and I do quite like it. Oh, let's put it, there you go. It's just a Holland. It's a Holland cup. She went to Holland in the summer. And all I got was a mug, you see. She went to Holland and enjoyed herself there. And I just got a cup, which is quite nice, and I do like it. Mark, so he says, come on, you gunners. Indeed, come on, you gunners. But let's be honest, my friend, it's going to be very tough, isn't it? It is going to be very tough. I've still got my Arsenal cup, by the way. Don't worry. My Arsenal cup is still here. It is still here. And it's more, that one's more been used, actually, for being out and about because the tea stays hot in there for like ages. Anyway, there's a chance here for Semenya. Oh, he's put it over the bar. Oh, that is the biggest chance yet for Bournemouth. The cross came in from that left-hand side. Semenya's come in. He had the whole goal to aim at there. That's a poor miss, actually. Arsenal made a bit of a mess over on that far side. The cross came in from Otero. And, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. That is a terrible miss. Luckily for us, he needed to strike that across the keeper, didn't he? And he got that all wrong. And we were saying what a great player he is. Mark C says Sterling was a passenger. He was, yeah. We were saying that before. He was really poor. He's been really poor. I think that's what ended up probably being one of our worst ever loan signings. He'll be up there with who was that guy that we got? There was one with a Kelsom who came with a broken back and I think played like one game. At least he scored a penalty in a penalty shootout in the FA Cup semi-final. And then, of course, there was that other guy that Unai Emery brought in. What was his name? I think he played like a couple of games from the bench. We got him on loan during Unai Emery's season in the January window. Oh, what was his name? He was really lightweight and weak and played in midfield. I think he played 3 or 4 games as a sub, and that was it. And he went back to where he came from. I don't even know what happened to him. I can't even remember what he was called. I don't remember him. You must remember him. He came briefly, didn't he? And was it 2018 in the January window? I mean, we was at the game away at Manchester City when he came on for his debut. I thought, oh, let's have a look and see what he's like. And he was absolutely terrible. And they didn't play much after that. Anyway, it's a free kick to Bournemouth, which they've taken over on that far side. They should be 1-0 up in this game. That was a big miss there from Semenya, but you do feel as though unless Arsenal can keep the ball better, Bournemouth are going to get more chances in the second half. And surely that Semenya won't be wasteful again. He's had a few chances in this game. Hasn't managed to find it. He's on the ball now on this near side. He's actually swapped wings. He was on this near side in the first half. He's obviously swapped with Otero over on that far side. Feel as though that might be a better option for Bournemouth. Anyway, they're coming forward over on that far side, trying to find that breakthrough. We played 49 minutes here at the Vitality Stadium, but Arsenal picked the ball up there. And we do feel as though we are going to be a backs to the wall kind of performance here in the second half. And the ball breaks into the penalty area and, it's just gone behind for a goal kick. Even Ilson was in there. He's been a threat as well, hasn't he, the Brazilian? It was him, of course, who was brought down for the red card. Anyway, it is a goal kick to Arsenal. We played 4 minutes of the second half. Still Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. And yeah, Raheem Sterling, we are going to have at some point a conversation about Raheem Sterling, aren't we? How poor he's been. He looks unfit. He looks uninterested. Is he just here for the kind of prestige of saying he's played for Arsenal along with the other big clubs he's played for? Anyway, Arsenal have won themselves a corner on the counter-attack. Kai Havertz, it was over on that far side. It's done well to win Arsenal a corner, and we're going to have to rely on set pieces, I think, in this second half if we're going to get a goal. Maybe this is where our moment's going to come. Kai Havertz done well there. Gabriel obviously going to fancy his chances here, isn't he? He's already got a couple of goals this season from corners. And he's going to fancy his chances here, isn't he? The Arsenal captain today. Greg says there, the worst manager we've had besides Arteta was Terry Neal, but he was forgiven because he brought in Bergkamp. What's Arteta's legacy? Terry Neal didn't bring in Bergkamp, did he? Bergkamp was well after Terry Neal went. I think you mean Bruce Rioch, but Bruce Rioch didn't bring in Bergkamp anyway. It was David Dean. As David Dean indeed brought in Arsene Wenger as well. David Dean's who we miss. You know, we can have any manager we like, really. David Dean was the one that drove this club forward and got us all the success that we had, the recent success. All our recent success has come because of David Dean. Absolutely no doubt about that. I've got his book, actually. You want to read it? It's really good. But yeah, Terry Neal had gone long before Dennis Bergkamp turned up. It was Bruce Rioch, wasn't it? Who was manager then. But I'll say David Dean brought Bergkamp along with many other great things. Anyway, Bournemouth coming forward again. Ball into the near post. Good defending from Jacob Kiwior, but Bournemouth still got the ball inside the penalty area. Ricocheted around a bit and they've got it away. And Arsenal giving the ball away poorly again. Thomas Partey, Bournemouth getting up the pressure now. Moving the ball quickly on the edge of the box. Semenya with a shot. Ricochets off a couple of Arsenal players and we managed to get that ball away, but not for very long. We just can't hold the ball. Kai Havertz has lost it again. And every time we try and get out of our half, we just can't. And it's just relentless Bournemouth pressure. And you do feel a goal for the home team is inevitable at some point. This cross comes in. It's half-headed away. Oh, there's some poor defending there. But in the end, we got away with that. It was Leandro Trossard. And Arsenal managed to keep possession with Ricardo Calafiore up this near side. Plays that ball in field. Now Arsenal can maybe try and launch a counter-attack over on the far side. It's a good ball, actually. A little bit of space for Ben White. Not being able to get forward much since the red card. Arsenal in possession now. Thomas Partey. This is the first time we've had the ball in Bournemouth's half in this second half. We've played 52 minutes. It's still 0-0. Arsenal have been somewhat fortunate here. Big miss from Semenya very early in this second half, which could have made a big difference. You do feel if Bournemouth score, we're in big trouble because you can't see where a goal's coming from us, other than maybe a set piece. But you can't even see a scoring from a set piece. The way our set piece haven't been that great when we haven't had too many. 2 corners we've had. But yeah, you do feel if Bournemouth score, we are in big trouble. But they're coming forward again, but that's not a great ball. It was comfortable defending from Ben White there, just stepped in, put it out for a throw. But again, it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back, and it can't keep coming back. We can't survive 45 minutes of football with Bournemouth in possession in front of us. We just can't do it. Remember the game against Brighton at the Emirates? We couldn't do it then. We conceded a goal. We were quite fortunate in the end not to lose that game. And as things stand, we're going to be quite fortunate not to lose this one. Bournemouth coming forward again. Senesi there on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, plays out to the far side. It's Altera now. Gets the cross in. It's not a bad ball, but David Raya is going to come and get that without too many problems. I mean, Greg, you're talking about Mikel Arteta's legacy. At the moment, if he was to leave now, I don't think he hasn't got a legacy, has he? He's not got a legacy. And that's the unfortunate thing, isn't it? His legacy is going to be finishing second. His legacy is going to be bottling the top four. A couple of years ago, his legacy is going to be throwing away a title 2 seasons in a row when we were ahead with in the back straight. You know, that's going to be his legacy as things stand. And yeah, and that's it. But I believe he'll stay long enough to be able to change that. But I don't know what's going to have to change for him to change it, because I can't see us winning too much with this squad of players that we've got. I can't see it myself. But anyway, let's see. Arsenal are coming forward now. Jacob Kiwior over on that far side. That's quite well, actually. Plays the ball in field to Thomas Partey. Arsenal just need to keep possession. We are keeping possession. And that's what we've got to do in the second half. We've got to keep possession better. Because we just had about 5 or 6 minutes of relentless Bournemouth pressure. We're coming forward now. Declan Rice made up a lot of ground. And he finds Mikel Merino on this near side. His first start in the Premier League for Arsenal. Of course, remember today for the Spanish new signing this summer. He was injured very early on when he joined, wasn't he? With that shoulder injury, but he is fit now. And he's actually played quite well today. It's been probably a good game for him to play him, as it turned out. A sort of game that needs a bit of a battle in midfield. It's never going to be a game for slick football, is it, from Arsenal perspective? So it's probably been a good game for him to start, actually. Not that we knew that at the time, because we didn't know we were going to be down to 10, did we? But I think it's been a good game for him to start. And he's done okay, Mikel Merino, actually. I've been pretty happy with his performance today. But that's because he's not a fancy player, is he? And this game isn't calling for fancy players, is it? It's calling for battlers. It's calling for that type of performance from everybody. You know, you're just going to have to battle away. Kai Havertz has just conceded a free kick over on that far side. Far too much shirt pulling going on there. From the German, we played 11 minutes of the second half. It is still 0-0. But Bournemouth missed a very, very big chance early on in the second half from Semenya. Anton Semenya fired over the crossbar, but he really should have done better. This cross comes in. David Raya flaps a little bit of that and gets away with it, actually, because Declan Rice is across. He's had a good game today as well. And this workman-like midfield, if you like, of Merino, Partey and Rice actually has worked out well today. As I said, it's been the game where maybe we needed a midfield like that, rather than an expansive midfield that's going to be able to open up a defence. In the end, it's a very solid, strong midfield who are up for the battle, and that's what they've needed to be. And that's what they have been. Anyway, Jacob Kiwior almost struggled to get the ball away then, but Declan Rice has picked up on this near side. Was he fouled? Quite possibly he was. And now the referee is going to give the free kick because no advantage was played. And well done, referee, again, actually. He let the advantage go. We had the ball. And as soon as we lost it, he pulled it back for the free kick for the foul on Declan Rice, which it was a foul. There's no question about it. It was Semenya with he was a little bit late there as Declan played the ball. He actually stood on his foot. Anyway, Declan's going to be okay. It was only an accident. Of course it was. It wasn't a late change or anything like that. He just stood on his foot. Anyway, Mikel there and iPod Albert in conversation. Something needs to change for Arsenal if we're gonna win this game. Certainly, as things stand, we're gonna probably have to change something to even get a draw, because Bournemouth have looked the much better team in this second half. They've been the much better team anyway. And let's not just blame the 10 men. Yes, that's made a difference, but they were the better team before we were reduced to 10 men. And it's not been a very good Arsenal performance at all. In fact, it's been our worst performance of the season by quite some distance. Calafiore has just done well there and finds Thomas Partey inside the centre circle. Mark C says Martinelli probably coming on. Yeah, probably just to run around a bit, give us a bit of pace on the counter attack. Anyway, Arsenal's conceded another free kick. And again, it's Kai Havertz, and you do expect Kai Havertz to eventually get a yellow card just for the number of fouls he seems to be committing. He put his arm across the Bournemouth player there, and then, yeah, it was a foul. And he's committed 2 or 3 fouls already, Kai Havertz, in the second half. And none of them have been worthy of yellow cards individually, but it's a totting up process sometimes, isn't it? Referees look at how many fouls has he committed, and I'm sure it's inevitable that Kai Havertz will eventually get himself a yellow card if it carries on. Anyway, it is Bournemouth in possession. All that's good play by Otero over on that far side. What's the cross like? It's not bad. Headed away, though, by Arsenal. It was Ricardo Calafiore, but Bournemouth again pick up the loose ball. And Bournemouth are very direct, aren't they? They're getting crosses in. Semenyo puts another cross in. A header comes in, but it's just wide from the edge of the box from Tavernier. Marcus Tavernier with that header there. Good ball, actually, from Semenyo. That was over on that near side. There's a little flick header by Tavernier, but it probably was never going to really trouble David Raya. And it's gone behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. More time ticks by. We've played nearly an hour here at the Vitality Stadium. And Bournemouth are going to make another substitution. By the look of it, the manager there is calling a couple of the substitutes over that's been warming up. You feel as though there's going to be some more changes for Bournemouth as they look to try to take advantage of this situation they found themselves in with Arsenal down to 10 men. It's not often in a season, is it, that you're going to get to play Arsenal and you've got 10 men at home and you've got a big opportunity to win. And Bournemouth want to make the most of this, don't they? Every single point for them is going to be important. And I've actually been impressed with the way they've played today. So not just since we've had 10 men, even before. They look comfortable in possession of the ball. They've moved it around well. They're quite direct, get it wide, get crosses in. They're a nice team to watch, actually. I've been really impressed with them. And obviously they've got the advantage of the extra man, but they've played well, Bournemouth. You know, Alex Scott now plays it to Tavernier. He's had a good game. Plays out this near side. Bournemouth looking to try to get this breakthrough. Tavernier again. There it goes back. Bournemouth moving it side to side. Back with Alex Scott again. Dinks the ball over the top into the penalty area. It headed down, but there was nobody there following it up. I think it was Ivan Nilsson there. Oh, and it's good play again over on that far side from Otero. What's the cross like? Overhit, luckily. And in the end, Trossard is going to clear this one away. It's gone behind off the Bournemouth player. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Greg says, give Bournemouth their due. Their quick early crosses. Exactly. You know, I'm enjoying watching the way they play. I like football like this. Get the ball wide, get it in the box. You know, they're 2 wide players, are their best 2 players, and Otero and Semenyo. And they're causing us problems. They are causing us problems. And I actually like this style of play. I enjoy watching it. But they might change things a bit now. They are bringing on 2 more substitutions, Bournemouth. That looks like Justin Kluivert, is it? And Sinistera, 2 attacking players. Wow, they're going for it, aren't they, Bournemouth? Fair play to them. They're getting some more attacking players on. That Sinistera's a good player, isn't he? Louis Sinistera, I remember him when he played for Leeds in the Premier League. Always impressed with him. He's a good player. Declan Rice has just been fouled. Chan says, why easy games we think always difficult? Well, I don't think there is easy games anymore. You don't get easy games in the Premier League, do you? Every game's tough, especially away from home. And you've got to find a way to win. And no matter what happens, adversity that you might get, you've got to try and find a way to win. And there's no easy games. Anyway, Semenyo's just got himself a yellow card for getting involved with Declan Rice and Trossard. It is a free kick to Arsenal. But yeah, Bournemouth are going for it here. They're going to bring on 2 more attacking players. In fact, they're doing it now. They are doing it now. Is that Quatrero going off? We had a good game, actually. It is. Quatrero's going off. He looked lively over on that far side. In fact, they're making 3 substitutions. Tavernier, Scott and Quatrero going off. And Kluivert, Christie and Sinistera's coming on. So a bit more energy for Bournemouth. They're putting some attacking players on. Ryan Christie's a dangerous player, isn't he, as well? He's caused problems in the past. And the Bournemouth have made 3 substitutions here to go along with the one they made at half time. So they're certainly going for it, Bournemouth here, aren't they? Justin Kluivert, of course, from a famous footballing family. He's not quite as good as his dad, is he? But he's a good player, though, nonetheless. Anyway, Christie there straight away in possession, plays the ball up that far side. They're trying to get Sinistera, and he's gone over to that left-hand side. Sinistera. Oh, a mistake from David Raya again. He's made a few mistakes at the back, and even Ilson's trying to get on the end of it, but the ball's gone out for a throw. 3 or 4 times, David Raya has made some very poor mistakes with the ball at his feet. He completely missed his kick there. Almost led to a problem for Arsenal. He's made a couple of good saves, David Raya, but it's been a very, very awkward performance. And here we go. It is a substitute. Martinelli is coming on. It's Trossard that's going off. I suppose a like for like in some ways, but Martinelli's going to offer more of a threat going forward with that pace. And that's the reason why he's been brought on, I'm sure. But we're midway through this second half. It's still 0-0. Greg says the way things are going, a draw would be a good result. I agree. I think a draw would be a good result. I think away from home with 10 men, as early as he got sent off, I think you'll take a draw away from home, absolutely anywhere. And certainly the way Bournemouth have played, they've played well. I've really been impressed by Bournemouth, actually. Anyway, that's a long ball from the goalkeeper. Good header from Ricardo. Calafiori's played well, actually, for Arsenal at the back today. Martinelli trying to get in with his first touch. Instead, the ball's gone out for a throw to Arsenal. Martinelli looks hungry. Going to give us something different. Look at some of those young players on the bench there looking quite resigned to the fact they're not going to come on today. It's not a day for the young players, is it, unfortunately? Not that any game ever is with this manager, I suppose. But anyway, there's a strong challenge there on Thomas Partey from Justin Cliver. It looked like a 50-50 ball there. But anyway, the referee gave a free kick to Arsenal, so that's good news. And we are into the last 25 minutes here at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 0. Can Arsenal sneak a sneaky little 1-0 with 10 men? Can we do it? I don't know. We've not had a shot on target all game. But we've got a free kick here. Ricardo Calafiori is going to take it with his left foot, the Italian. Midway inside the Bournemouth half. In fact, he played it up the line to Martinelli. He then goes on the overlap. Martinelli cuts inside, puts a cross in. It's a good cross, and Bournemouth just about deal with that. And it was well cleared away. I think it was Jacob Kiwior was in there. In fact, it's going to be a corner to Arsenal. Now, threat is going to be from set pieces. Martinelli does well there. Cuts back infield. It's a decent cross, actually. And it was a header away. And it has gone behind for a corner to Arsenal. A good cross that was from Martinelli, actually. And Kiwior was in there. Kai Havertz was in there. But it was a Bournemouth head that got it away. And Martinelli does look up for this, actually, since coming on. He looks really lively. He wants the ball. And Arsenal have got a corner. And we know what that can mean. So many times this season, it's meant good things. It's going to be Declan Rice with it over on that far side. So it's going to be an outswing of this one with his right foot. Gabriel's going to try and get a run in here. Mikel Merino as well. Arsenal taking their time over this corner. Declan Rice, it is with it. Swings out towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Merino's header, but it's comfortable into the arms of the goalkeeper. Kepa Azabalaga. We've not had to mention much in this game, have we? Bournemouth trying to come forward over on that far side, and they've won a throw of day. Justin Cliver, it was, couldn't quite get on the end of that. Roland says the midfield trio of Partey, Merino and Rice doesn't work. The team lacks creativity and invention. If Arteta doesn't play Nwaneri, when will he get his chance? Well, yeah, I mean, obviously now without the 10 men, you probably want this midfield now. But from the start of the game, I agree. I looked at the midfield and thought that's a very pragmatic midfield, isn't it? It's not a midfield that's going to create you lots and lots of opportunities. It's a midfield that's full of physicality and straightforwardness, if you like, but not too much else. Certainly not creativity, and it doesn't seem to be too many goals in it, really. So, yeah, it was a concern when I saw it, and this is a sort of game where, yeah, maybe throw Ethan in at the start. Yes, as it's turned out, it's not going to be the game for him now, is it, when we're down to 10 men? But it certainly could have been at the start. I agree. We want to see some creativity, don't we? We've got some of our creative players are injured at the minute. Anyway, with Saka, with Odegaard. So, yeah, it would have been nice, wouldn't it? And you're right. If he's not going to start him against a team like Bournemouth, when's he going to give him an opportunity in the Premier League? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? And I'm not sure if he'll give any of these youngsters really a chance. Or Bournemouth give the ball away. There's a chance for Martinelli. Oh, that's a good save from Kappa Azabalaga. And he gave the ball away. Both goalies have done that now and then redeemed themselves. It was a terrible kick out, actually, by the Bournemouth goalkeeper. And in the end, the ball came to Martinelli. A first-time shot. That's a good save. And the follow-up went straight into the arms of the goalkeeper there. And our first shot on target in this game comes on the back of a mistake from Bournemouth. It's Martinelli. Mark says should have scored there. Well, it was a big chance. It was a big chance. He had to take it quickly, didn't he, under a bit of pressure there, Martinelli. He managed to get the shot away. And, yeah, it was... well, anyway, Ben White's been caught over on that far side. He managed to get away with that, though. He looked like he was holding the Bournemouth player. Now Arsenal trying to come forward over on that far side, but we can't. It's another throw to Bournemouth. They're ramping up the pressure again. The Cherries, and it's a play on there. It was going to be a free kick to Bournemouth. They've got possession. Ball's over on that far side. Can the cross come in? It's blocked. It's going to be another corner to Bournemouth. And Bournemouth now looking to try to get the goal that they've been threatening for much of this second half, you have to say. But the clearest chance really there for Arsenal, Martinelli, it was with the shot. First time, decent save it was from Kepa. But now Bournemouth have got a corner at the other end. Can they make something from this? It's played low into the near post. Oh, it's a good corner, and Bournemouth have scored. Arsenal were caught out there. It was a good corner, actually, from out of nothing almost. The corner was played to the edge of the box. It was played in, and it is Ryan Christie. I said he caused us problems before, and he's caused us problems again. It is a goal for Bournemouth. It is Ryan Christie with it, and it's Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 0, and Arsenal in big trouble in this game now with 20 minutes to play. Mark C says, punished after, we should have gone ahead. How many times has that happened in football? It was a good corner routine, actually. Very unique what it was. It was just touched back, and then that's a good hit. Arsenal's defending was poor, you have to say, but that's a good hit. Curled into the top corner. David Raya had no chance with that. All the defenders got dragged in. There was space for Ryan Christie, and he's punished us there. That's a really good finish. They've worked on that corner routine. You could see they have. You know, you don't always have to put a cross in a corner there if you've got an idea what you're doing. And Bournemouth did. And Arsenal have been punished. And it is Ryan Christie with the goal. They just come on for Bournemouth, the Scot. And that's his first Premier League goal since October 2022. Well, I would have thought that. He's always seemed to be quite a dangerous player, actually, isn't he, Ryan Christie? But anyway, he's just got, so we're going to change our approach now. Well, we need to, because quite honestly, if we don't, we're going to lose this game. Can we find a way back into the game? Just as we said, we could have gone ahead with Martinelli's effort. And in the end, we have instead gone behind. And it is Ryan Christie with the goal. I'm sure he scored against us before. Sure he has. That's a really good finish, actually. It's a well-worked goal from Bournemouth, you have to say. And that's the sort of corner routine that you work on in training, isn't it? And when it comes off, you know, everybody's actually celebrating with the set-piece coach. In fact, they all went to the Bournemouth set-piece coach. That's something they worked on in training, isn't it? And, I mean, you know, if anyone's ever played football before, and if something you've worked on in training, when it comes off on the match day, you're absolutely delighted, aren't you? And that's what happened there. You know, Arsenal were caught out by that clever corner, a really clever corner. So fair play to Bournemouth. But now Arsenal got to find something. We've got to dig deep. Mark C says we may as well go all out attack now. It makes no difference if we lose by 2 or 3. So go all out attack. Well, while it's only 1-0, we're still in the game, aren't we? If we go all out attack now and then they score a second goal, it's done, isn't it? You know where we're going to score 2 or 3 goals, you know, with 10 men in this game. So I think we've got to be careful. We've got 18 minutes to play. I think we need to be careful that we don't go too gung-ho too early, because as soon as we go 2-0 down, it's done, isn't it? We need to keep it a 1-0 for 10 minutes, 5 minutes or whatever, and keep ourselves in it. And we know that, you know, we had that one chance. We know we'll probably get another one. But once we go 2-0 down, if we was to go 2-0 down, it's going to be impossible. it's an impossible task. It's a very difficult task as it is. Chan says that kick was like Nelson's against them. Yeah, I suppose it was actually. Yeah, quite a similar goal actually. Yeah, that's a good comparison. I like that. It was quite similar to Nelson's goal against Bournemouth, of course, from 2 seasons ago, 98th minute, whatever it was, when Reece Nelson scored that late winner. We were 2-0 down in that game against Bournemouth because we did have our full complement of players on that particular occasion. We don't now, and there's a lot less time remaining in this game. And of course, it was at home then as well, which does make a big difference, you know. But Bournemouth have played well today. Let's not say anything different. They've played really, really well, Bournemouth, today. And they probably deserve to be in front, if we're totally honest. And yes, we've had 10 men. It's been hard for us, but Bournemouth were a better team in any case. Anyway, Bournemouth trying to come forward again. And they've got a throw over on that far side. Cliver it was, putting Arsenal under a bit of pressure. Wasn't able to keep the ball out. So it's gone behind for a throw. Of course, next weekend we play Liverpool at the Emirates. What a big game that's going to be, without William Saliba as well, because he will be suspended. So we're going to be under a bit of pressure there as well, aren't we? We know how important William Saliba is for us at the back. But you can clearly see, right, and now people have said we don't need a centre forward because we have scored all the goals that we've scored the last couple of seasons, 80-odd goals, whatever it is, right? Yeah, we have. But it's games like this, isn't it, when you need someone who can hold the ball up. You need someone who can keep possession. You need someone who can bring others into play. That's the sort of player that we don't have. An old-fashioned centre-forward, if you like. And they're not going to play every week necessarily, but there's games when you need them. And this is a game when you would need them. Oh, that's a good cross, actually. And it's gone all the way behind. In fact, I think it's going to be a corner off Kiwior. Arsenal not looking particularly solid at the back in this game at all. Kiwior there wasn't really sure what to do with that. It's bounced off of it. It's going to be another corner. Mark C says, we need a Giroud type one. But exactly, yeah. Even if it is as a plan B option, absolutely, you know, because it's games like this, isn't it? When you get the ball forward, Kai Havertz isn't able to. He's not that sort of player, is he? He can't hold the ball up. He can't bring others into the game in the way that a Giroud type player could. So yeah, no, we that's what we need. Anyway, this corner comes in from Ryan Christie. It's gone quite long towards the far post, and there's a shot comes in. It's just over the bar. It was Semenyo again. He's had some chances in this game, hasn't he, the Ghanaian? That corner there was went to the far post. In fact, that was a foul by Thomas Partey. And then Semenyo coming and got a lot of power behind that, but couldn't direct it into the goal. Bournemouth claiming a penalty. I mean, Thomas Partey did have his arms right over him, pushed him over. I don't know whether VAR are checking that. We could be in trouble if they do. Semenyo with the finish that went just flying past that post. He could have scored a hat-trick today, couldn't he? He really could have, Anton Semenyo. He's had so many chances, some really big chances as well. He hasn't managed to find the target. He'll be quite frustrated by that. But anyway, Roland's... Oh, there's a mistake at the back. It's going to be 2-0 round the keeper. Was he brought down? Referee says, yes, it's a penalty. It could be a red card for David Raya. I think we're going to be down to 9 men here. The referee doesn't want to get the red card out. He's waiting for confirmation from VAR again. But it was a mistake at the back. He's waiting for the VAR to tell him whether or not it's a red card or not for David Raya. He's definitely brought him down. It's definitely going to be a penalty. I don't know what Arsenal are protesting about. I think they're trying to say, don't send him off because we'll be down to 9 men here. It was Jacob Kiwior with a mistake, a poor back pass. He's round the keeper. I mean, there's a defender coming across Gabriel, but I don't know. Is that a red card, do you think, or not? Oh, I'm not sure. I think maybe Gabriel's presence there may well have got David Raya off the hook there. May well have done. I mean, it was Sinistera, went round him. I mean, it's definitely a penalty. There's absolutely no question about that being a penalty. In fact, David Raya has been sent off, has he? Or not? Not sure if he has or not. I'm not quite sure what's happened here. It's definitely, the outcome of it is a penalty for definite. We're not sure if it's a red card. VAR are checking it again. and the referee hasn't had confirmation from VAR yet as to whether or not it is a red card. It's definitely a penalty to Bournemouth. Chance for them to go 2-0 up and out, unbeaten start. Looks as though it's definitely going to be over here tonight, unless David Raya can redeem himself. Mark says, I don't think it's a red. No, I don't think it's quite as clear a red, is it? Because Gabriel was coming across to cover. So, but that's probably more of a goal scoring opportunity in many ways than the other one, because it's so close to the goal. But there was a covering defender. Anyway, it's Clive that's going to take this penalty. It's going to be another substitute to give Bournemouth potentially 2-0. Can David Raya save it? He's saved some penalties before for Arsenal. This is a big moment in this game. If Bournemouth score this, you do feel as though it's night. Good night. Oh, that's a good penalty, actually. A really good penalty from Clive. The two substitutes have won this game for Bournemouth. There's no question about that now. It's been poor from Arsenal from the start. We've suffered badly with 10 men, and we've been made to punish. It is Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 0. Mark C says game over. Indeed, you do feel it is game over. We've got nothing left in this game. You don't feel that's a cool penalty. David Raya went the wrong way, and Clive just tucked it in that bottom corner. That is a really good penalty. And Arsenal now are on the way to our first defeat of the season. It was a good penalty, actually, there. That's how you take a penalty, that is, isn't it? Really cool from Justin Clive. And he put the ball up his top there. It wasn't actually the same ball. It was another one on the side. But anyway, has he just had a baby, has he? But anyway, it was a goal, and it is 2-0, and Arsenal are in big trouble. Chan says, just a bad moment from a long journey. Well, yeah, I suppose it's been one of many bad moments today. And now Arsenal are going to make another substitute. We're going to bring on Gabriel Jesus, the non-scoring centre-forward for Arsenal. The non-scoring number 9 is now going to come on for Arsenal because we're 2-0 down with 10 men. That's a sensible substitution, isn't it? And Jacob Kiwior, who came on before, he's just been taken straight off. He made one mistake, and he takes him straight off. What great management that is. Well done, Mikel Arteta. You absolute moron. Anyway, Nathan Wanmeri's coming on as well for Mikel Merino, and Gabriel Jesus is coming on for Jacob Kiwior. That's his Arsenal career over, isn't it? There's no question about that. He came on as a substitute to replace Raheem Sterling when we went down to 10 men. He just made a mistake. He's made a mistake. Fair enough. He's made a mistake. And now he's been taken off. That's the worst thing to happen, isn't it, to a player that's come off the bench as a sub to get subbed yourself. And one mistake, okay, he's had a bit of a shaky game, but he's hardly played. That's a manager's fault for not giving him minutes before. Ridiculous. Mark C says, we're going for it now, subs on. Yeah, don't go for it 0-0. Don't try and win the game. Let's try and salvage something from it now that we're 2-0 down. Roland says, salvage job is officially effective. Well, yeah, it's not going to work there, is it? If anything, as Mark said before, we're more likely going to concede another goal or two going for it. Ridiculous. This is what I mean. This is, people have often said to me, how can you question this manager? We've come second in the league 2 seasons in a row. Well, that's one reason to question him. Coming second is not enough. But it's stuff like this. When things go against us, when the game plan that he's worked so hard on, when that can't work, he doesn't know what to do. He panics for stupid things, and he's just panicked there, and he's just killed Jacob Kiwior's career, his Arsenal career, as he's killed the Arsenal career of many players, many players. Anyway, Bournemouth making another substitution now, their last substitution of the game. You have to say Bournemouth have fully deserved this victory. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Chad says, Jesus is useless. Sell him in a way. Yeah, I mean, he is useless. Absolutely useless. Even Ilson's gone off and Unal's come on. The Turk, he's going to be a physical presence, isn't he, up front for them? There's no question about that. They're looking for more goals, Bournemouth. We're into the last 8 minutes of normal time. This game's long gone from Arsenal's perspective. It really has been poor. It's been our worst performance for a very long time, you have to say. And that was when we had 11 players. Let's not use the 10 men as the excuse. Yes, the goals have come in the second half and we've been down to 10. But we weren't very good when we had 11 players, let's be honest. Bournemouth were a better team. And they've, someone said in the comments before, didn't they? Are Bournemouth good enough to take advantage? Anyone in the Premier League is good enough to take advantage if you give them those opportunities. If you play as defensively as we did, like we did at Man City, when we just didn't even bother to try and keep the ball, eventually it's going to cost you. And it's cost us. It's cost us today. Again, it cost us 2 points at Man City. It's cost us 3 points today. Greg says, what's the point of bringing on attacking players when the game is lost? Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. This is why you question this manager. This is why I question this manager. It's pointless now, isn't it? You bring attacking players on when it's 0-0 to try and win the game. Or even maybe when you're 1-0 down to try and salvage something. Like you said before, when you're 1-0 down, if there's 5-10 minutes to go, throw everything at it. You know, let's try and salvage a draw. But now you're 2-0 down. What's the point? It's too late. It's too late to bring your attacking players on now. It's too late. Honestly, he's an idiot. This manager is an idiot. Anyway, we've got a free kick on halfway, so this could be good. It's going to be David Raya to take it. Goes long towards the edge of the penalty area, but it doesn't reach anybody. Oh, it does actually. It reached Martinelli on his near side. I thought it was going out then. Martinelli plays a 1-2 with Gabriel. Jesus gets it back. Jesus, what's the cross like? Oh, it wasn't bad, but straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Kepa. I thought it was Gabriel. What's Gabriel doing up there? The other Gabriel. Saliba says there, sad state of affairs for Arsenal. I'm enjoying this. And well, of course you are. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? As a Man United fan, I'm sure you are loving it. But ultimately, we've got what we've deserved today. We've got what we've deserved today. And you have to say, some of our performances this season, you have to say, it's probably been coming. This has probably been coming. It's not like a massive surprise, is it? Mark says we were way too conservative with 11. We should have attacked more from the first whistle, but we stuck with pass. Yeah, exactly. Look at the midfield we had. It wasn't a midfield that was here to create chances and score lots of goals, was it? It was a containing midfield. And that's what we played like with 11 men. So, of course, we're going to play like it with 10. Even more so. You know, Arsenal coming forward now. Declan Rice runs into trouble, though. And in fact, Bournemouth don't make the most of that. They've just given the ball away. And Ethan, no man where he's just giving away a free kick. Maybe overplayed that a little bit. Greg says, surely the board have got to realise we'll never win anything with a clueless manager. Well, no, they don't care. The board aren't bothered, are they, about winning things? That's obvious. It's been obvious for a long time. You don't employ a manager like Mikel Arteta in his first ever management job because you want to win trophies. If you want to win trophies, you hire a manager with a proven record of winning trophies. That's what you do. If you're not bothered about winning trophies and you just want to give an ex-Arsenal player a job, then you're not bothered, are you? And we're clearly not bothered. Chad says, Arteta got good results against big teams, but dropping against small clubs. That's why we are behind of City. Yeah, I mean, in some degrees, you're right. I mean, we have got some good results against the big teams, but that's not. You don't win the league by beating Man City 1-0 at the Emirates once in 6 years, which is or 10 years, whatever it was, the only time we've ever beaten them in the league for a long, long time. That's not what wins your leagues, is it? You win the leagues by grinding out results in difficult games away from home and overcoming difficulties. That's how you win leagues. And that's what we're not able to do. We haven't been able to do it, have we? As I said before, if everything's going our way, we will, you know, we are as good as anybody. We're as good as Man City. We can beat anybody. But it's when things aren't going our way. That's what we need to work on. We've needed to work on that for 4 years and we still haven't got any better. And today just proves it. You know, Bournemouth have played well. Bournemouth are a decent team. I said this before the game. It was never going to be easy, this game. And they've played well. But we've helped them out massively by the way that we've played. Absolutely massively. Crazy Did says, come on, you Cherries. Well, yeah, okay, the Cherries are winning. That's the second Bournemouth fan. But it's good to see some Bournemouth fans, actually. You know, we've said quite a few things on this channel in the past about Bournemouth, maybe, you know, not having enough fans to justify a place in the Premier League and whatever. But, you know, it's good a couple of Bournemouth fans have joined us. And I hope you're enjoying your game today. Historic win for Bournemouth. Only the second time they would ever have beaten Arsenal in the Premier League. Yeah, not a good day for Arsenal at all, is it? Anyway, there's still 3 minutes plus stoppage time. Who knows? Maybe we can do something spectacular. You know, those attacking substitutions that Mikel Arteta just made. Maybe they'll pay off, and maybe we'll get 2 goals. We'll get a draw, and everyone will say Mikel Arteta's a genius. And then we'll be made to look stupid for questioning him, wouldn't we? How could you question this manager? How can you question him? Let's see. Anyway, we're playing the ball up this near side. Martinelli touches it off. This is nice. This is nice possession football from Arsenal inside our own half. This is the type of possession football that you play in the last 5 minutes of a game that you're winning. When you're losing 2-0, you get the ball forward. You put them under pressure. But no, of course not. Anyway, Martinelli, he's coming forward. Maybe we will get a goal. Who knows? If we score now, anything's possible, isn't it? Ricardo Calafiori puts a cross in, comes towards the edge of the penalty area, but there's no Arsenal player there. But there is now. Shot's going to come in from distance, is it? It's a good run here from Gabriel Jesus, trying to take on a whole Bournemouth team. Then runs into trouble, falls over, as he always does. Looks at the referee. Sorry, mate, you just cracked. Leave this club. Crazy Did says, I remember watching Bournemouth nearly go out of the Football League. So proud of them how they've come. No, absolutely. I mean, you know, the financial problems that Bournemouth have had, like you said, nearly dropping out of the Football League. It's been a great story, hasn't it? It's been a great journey, you know, to now be a pretty much an established Premier League club. Incredible. It is an incredible story. It's almost like the modern day Wimbledon in a way, isn't it? Kind of similar, you know. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Wimbledon when they were a top flight club, but it's a kind of similar story, isn't it? A small club who always been down in the lower leagues, almost like you said, going out of the league completely, and to come back and do what Bournemouth have done has been incredible. It has been incredible because Eddie Howe was a big part of that, wasn't he? There's no doubt about that. Greg says you should be proud, you deserve it. Exactly, yeah. It's been an incredible story, Bournemouth, actually. And I quite like Bournemouth, I've got to be honest. Yes, they've got a tiny little ground. They've got no fans, and we can have a little laugh about it, can't we? But ultimately, it's a great story. And I love football history. I love to see the underdogs do well. It's you know, it's what football's about, isn't it? Football's not just about the big teams winning everything and all that kind of stuff, is it? Football is about the underdog doing well. And it's nice to see. Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now. Can we get a goal back here? We've got another corner that Gabriel Jesus won. I think it's all a little bit in vain, if I'm honest. Crazy says, I used to watch Howe play for Bournemouth. He did indeed, yes. And you've seen him be manager as well. And what a great job he did. But obviously it's a new era now, isn't it, for Bournemouth? And I like this manager. I like the way Bournemouth play. I think it's good to watch. Red Leader says, by Jesus said Paddy, I say it. So indeed, yeah, of course, that is a song from the name of where the name of the channel has come from. The banner, of course, at the Emirates. Anyway, also got a corner. Are we going to get a goal in stoppage time? Is there a substitution now? 5 minutes of stoppage time. Sorry, Bournemouth had that corner away. It's 5 minutes stoppage time. If we did score now, it would certainly get a bit more interesting, wouldn't it? If we were to do that. Nathan Wanrary with a cross again, it's headed out by Bournemouth defender. They can't quite get the ball away. They do now. Anyway, will do for them. And Martinelli's just lost out now, and Bournemouth got a chance maybe of a counter-attack where Arsenal won the ball back. Why didn't we show this type of fight and mentality when we were 1-0 down or at 0-0? Why didn't we do that? We're doing it now. We're 2-0 down. Too late. It's too late. Jane says, as a Cherries fan, your commentary has been unbiased, which is a breath of fresh air. Thank you very much. I'm here for football, really. Of course, I'm an Arsenal fan. I want Arsenal to win, but ultimately, it's about football, isn't it? I'll just say what I see, really. But thank you for that comment. I do try to be as unbiased as it's possible to be when you're watching your own team play. Anyway, I don't know why Arsenal didn't show this much urgency before. Why have we left it till we're 2-0 down? Ridiculous. Anyway, Chan says, hope Timber and Saka will be fully fit for a Champions League game. Yeah, and for next week, of course, against Liverpool. Anyway, Lewis Cook's been given man of the match in this game for Bournemouth. Probably could have been any number of Bournemouth players today. I really liked the performance of Semenya, even though he missed a load of chances. I thought Otuera was really good as well in that, particularly in the early part of the second half. But yeah, I mean, Lewis Cook's done a good job in midfield, hasn't he, for Bournemouth today? And Gabriel Jesus has just been fouled. It's a free kick to Arsenal. We're doing everything quick now. We're 2 minutes into stoppage time. We're 2-0 down. We haven't bothered attacking for 85 minutes. And now we're going to start attacking. Incredible. Roland says, I'm starting to think Raphael van der Vaart's criticism of Declan Rice is merited. For 100 million, he should be dictating the game like Rodri does for City. He's not that sort of player, is he? I mean, I love Declan Rice, right? Don't get me wrong. I think he's one of my favourite players, absolutely, right? But you're right. For 100 million pounds, we shouldn't have paid 100 million pounds for him. And Man City was never interested in buying him for that sort of money. I like Declan Rice. I think he's a great player, but you're right. He's not an elite midfield player, is he? For 100 million, you want an elite player that's going to be a game changer for you, don't you? And he's not. He never was ever going to be. And I knew that, and I accepted that. And we bought him. I knew what he was, and I'm glad we've got him, and I love him. But you're right. He's not a game changing player, is he? I would rather we'd spent 100 million pounds on a centre forward who can score you 35 goals a season, 30 goals a season. That's a game changing player, isn't it? That's what we should have spent the money on. But Mikel Arteta doesn't want to buy strikers. He doesn't like strikers. He's got an allergy to strikers. He comes out in a rash when he thinks about strikers. So he's never going to buy one, is he? Robert says, bottle job FC. Absolutely 100%, mate. I agree with that. So, but yeah, thanks for joining us and thanks for the comment. But you're right, absolutely. Mark C says, we were trying to kill time early in the game when we didn't need to. Instead of driving the game by going on the offensive, we just stuck with monotony spec. Yeah, exactly. That's the point, isn't it? You know, when we had a chance to get something from this game, we didn't take it. And now we've got no chance of getting something from the game. Suddenly we're showing urgency. It's ridiculous. It's just mental. It makes no sense. Just that Mikel Arteta go, oh, didn't we battle well with 10 men in the last 5 minutes? When you're 2-0 down and you did nothing for the previous 85 minutes, it makes no difference, mate. It's too late. Too late. Greg says, we've been very lucky. Bournemouth couldn't take their chances. We could have won about 8 goals. We could certainly lost by 4. Absolutely. They've missed 2 big sitters, haven't they? Semenya did, didn't he? Red Leader says, totally fair analysis. No, thank you very much. You know, it's as I said, I just say what I see, really, to be honest with you. And this has been awful today from Arsenal, absolutely awful. And the fact that we're suddenly now throwing everything at it when we're 2-0 down in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, it's ridiculous. Anyway, we're into the last minute of stoppage time. Agony and our pain is about to be over very, very shortly, which is going to be quite good, isn't it? Because it's been a horrible game from Arsenal from start to finish. And let's not blame the 10 men. We were terrible with 11. We were awful with 11. We were even worse with 10. And now suddenly we think, oh, let's play some attacking football now. We're 2-0 down. Yeah, brilliant. Well done, Mikel. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. Martinelli on this near side. Are we going to get a goal back when it's not going to matter? We may well do. Oh, we're not now. We just lost the ball. And now Bournemouth coming forward on a counter-attack. We're very stretched. If the right ball's hit, it could be free, but that wasn't the right ball. And Thomas Partey came back there. And there goes a full-time whistle. It has finished here. Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 0. A famous, famous victory for Bournemouth. Only the second time they've ever beaten Arsenal. And Arsenal got a lot to think about. No doubt Mikel Arteta will be crying and crying and crying tonight about the red card, which was a red card. There's no complaints about that red card, there shouldn't be. The right decision was made by VAR in the end. But Arsenal were awful with 11. We were even worse with 10. And then suddenly we're 2-0 down. And then we decide to go for it. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Chan says, why didn't we play like that when the game was 0? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why we didn't. Because Mikel Arteta is scared of losing. Once the game's lost, he's got nothing more to lose. So he thought, well, we might as well just play some football now. Stupid. Try and win the game. That's why we don't win things, because he hasn't got that right mentality. He's too scared. He's too scared to try and win a game. Let's try and hang on for a 0-0 draw. We go 1-0 down. Well, let's try and hang on for a 1-0 defeat. I don't know, stupid. Mark sees it all over. It is all over. And it's not just all over for this game. It's all over probably for the title, to be honest. I know we've only lost 1 game. But looking at this team, looking at this squad, we're not good enough. We're not good enough to win a league against at this Man City team. Let's see how we got on next week about Williams Saliba against Liverpool. I'll tell you what, that is going to be a bad, bad game, I think. But Bournemouth played well today. Mark C says, we'll get murdered by Liverpool if we play like that. Well, absolutely we will. And without William Saliba at the back, we're going to struggle, aren't we? Greg says, we didn't show up for the game. No, we didn't. Roland says, if Arteta was not careful, we could end up losing Manweri like Obi Martin. We started playing better when Neri came. Well, it wasn't just him. I just think that we changed our emphasis on trying to get the ball forward quickly. A lot of the players, I mean, Jacob Kiwior looks absolutely distraught, right? And yes, it was his mistake for that second goal that put David Raya in trouble. But anyway, the manager just killed him. You can see the players there are giving him a lot of support, and he needs some support. Anyway, the players are going over to applaud the fans. David Raya just given his shirt to one of the Arsenal fans. Another fine performance from Havertz. Well, yeah, another non-existent performance from Havertz. Yeah. 65 million down the drain. Chan says, I agree. He played attack after attack 2 seasons ago and now parking the bus. Exactly, because he's scared. He's scared of losing now. When the way up, as you're trying to fight your way up the league and become better, which is what Mikel Arteta was doing with Arsenal. We were in 8th place and stuff like that. You don't have so much fear, because if you lose, it doesn't matter. People always expect you to lose. But when you suddenly get to that position where people don't expect you to lose, then you've got that pressure. And that's where Mikel Arteta has struggled. He struggled to be able to deal with that, and that's why we play the way we do now. Greg says Arteta doesn't know how to change when his plan doesn't work. He's very one-dimensional. No, he is, absolutely. We've said this for a long time. He is very one-dimensional. He can't deal with adversity, and I guarantee in his interviews after the game, he'll be blaming the red card. I would have thought, because that's what he does. Every time we lose, it's because it's someone else's fault. It's a referee's fault. It's something is to blame, rather than looking at himself and saying, you know what, I picked the wrong team for this game. My midfield was too defensive. My whole tactics were too defensive. And the reason why he was so defensive, and I think Mark says pretty, I was just actually going to mention this. Mark says his lack of cutting edge with no Saka and Ødegaard, it shows we're short of creativity. Exactly, yeah, that's what I mean. Because he knew we were missing our 2 most creative players, and they're only our 2 most creative players because of the system that we play. I mean, Saka's slightly different because Saka be creative anyway. I don't think Martin Ødegaard would be anywhere near as good, anywhere near as effective in a different team with a different setup. He works in our team, right? So yeah, you've got our 2 most creative players are out. So instead of thinking, well, let's try and replicate that as much as we can, let's get Wanweri in, who's a creative player. Let's try and do something like normal. No, he doesn't want to try anything else. He's like, well, okay, we'll just stick a load of defensive midfield players in, hope for the best, try and get a goal from a corner, sneak it 1-0, happy days. But no, we got totally outplayed by Bournemouth. And that was when we had 11 as well. I'm saying when we had 11 players, we got totally outplayed by Bournemouth today. Bournemouth, right? And I rate Bournemouth as a team. I do. I think they've got some good players. They're a difficult team to play. Before the game, I said it was going to be a tough game. I wasn't expecting us to come in and win 4-0 like we did last season. No, I knew it was going to be tough today. I had absolutely no question about that. They're actually 10th in the league with that win. So we're now a point behind Liverpool. They've got a game in hand. Man City have got a game in hand. They're level on points with us. By the end of this weekend, we're going to be 3 and 4 points off the top of the table, probably. Aston Villa are level on points with us. Aston Villa, who's their manager again? Aston Villa. Can't remember who's Aston Villa's manager. They're level on points with us. Can't think who their manager is. Anyway, we just lost this game 2-0, and we deserve to lose this game, probably by more than 2-0, because we were quite simply awful. We were awful from start to finish in this game. Awful. And yeah, the tactics were wrong. The team selection was wrong. We were far too defensive, far too negative. And yeah, we got what we deserved. We've got what we deserved. And sometimes in football, you don't always get what you deserve. Sometimes you get lucky or whatever it is. But today or unlucky maybe, and you maybe deserve more than you get. But today we got exactly what we deserved, which was nothing. In fact, you could say the scoreline flattered us and not Bournemouth, because Bournemouth, as we mentioned before, should have scored at least 2 more goals. 2 big misses from Semenya, who actually played well, looks a threat, but he couldn't finish today, and luckily we've managed to get away with it. David says, good from a mighty Liverpool sport. Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Obviously, will you be here next week when we beat you at the Emirates? I'm not sure you will be. But we're going to play a lot better, obviously. We know that. Shout out to Unai. Exactly, yeah, Unai is the manager of Aston Villa. And I will maintain this, and I've said it for a long, long time. Had we been as patient and given him the backing that we've given Arteta, we would by now be sitting on a couple of trophies. Couple more trophies. Absolutely, we'd have won something in these last couple of years, whether it was a European trophy, whether it was a Europa League, whether it was a League Cup even. We would have won some trophies under Unai if we'd backed him and we had shown the same patience that we gave Arteta when we were losing game after game in that COVID season. If we'd only done that with Unai, I'm convinced we'd be in a much better position in terms of trophies won. Would we have won the Premier League with Unai Emery in charge? I don't know. If he'd been given the backing and he'd been given the time, we may have done. you've got to think, right, the resources that we've got as a club is more than Aston Villa have got, right? If he can get Aston Villa in the Champions League, if he does it again this year, would he not have been able to take Arsenal even further had he been given that time and that investment? Look at I'll tell you, given every single thing that he's wanted, everything that he's wanted from day one, and all he's done is throw it away. Year after year, throwing away big opportunities to win big trophies and even to win any trophy, thrown it away. And I can't understand what more needs to happen for him to get rid of him. I can't understand what more needs to happen. If we don't win something this season, that'll be 5 seasons in a row. 5 seasons in a row without winning a trophy. I don't care if we come second. Come in second or come in fourth. Makes no difference. The outcome's the same. It's a Champions League position, a Champions League place, right? Doesn't make any difference to me if you come second or you come fourth. Doesn't care. So if we come fourth this season and don't win a cup, it's the same season as last year and the season before. It's no better, it's no worse. If we win a cup and come fourth, it's a better season. Absolutely it is. If we come fifth and win a cup, it's a better season because we've won a trophy and we'll still be in Europe. Okay, it'll be the Europa League, but who cares about this new Champions League rubbish anyway? It's ridiculous. Greg says, at least we've got Rene's ideas to look forward to. So the weekend isn't completely lost yet. No, exactly. The weekend isn't lost yet. The women play tomorrow. We'll be looking forward to that. Mark C says, he's got to go if we don't win something this season. Absolutely. There's no way the club can justify him staying 5 seasons in a row without a trophy. There's no way they can justify that. Now, we've got a good opportunity in the Carabao Cup. We've got a decent-ish draw. Okay, it's away from home against Preston. It won't be easy, but we've got a good opportunity to get through that. And suddenly we're in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. And who knows, who knows what might happen from there. But you're right. We've got to win something this season. And if we don't, I agree, he's got to go. But he won't. Guarantee he won't, especially if we get in the top 4. If we get in the top 4, we're in the Champions League again. We maybe reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League again this season, whatever it might be. There is absolutely no way they are getting rid of him. Absolutely no way they will. Not a chance. The only hope we would have of him going if we don't win a trophy is if he doesn't get top 4. If he doesn't get top 4 and he doesn't win a trophy, then they might have to start questioning it. Other than that, I mean, that's what happened to Arsene Wenger, wasn't it? All those years of Champions League, he missed it once. And he won the FA Cup, so they gave him another season. He missed it again, and that was it. So that's what's important to this club. That is what's important, top 4. Top 4 is everything. That's it. And if he keeps getting top 4, like Arsene Wenger, he'll stay for 10 years if he keeps getting top 4. Whether he wins a trophy or not. No one's bothered. Even half the fan base aren't bothered. In fact, most of the fan base aren't bothered. They don't care if we win a trophy or not. They love Mikel. He's got nice hair. He's got us finishing second. Like that's an achievement. Like that's an achievement. This is elite sport. Coming second is coming nowhere. And I don't understand why people don't get that. Why don't people feel that like that? I don't understand it. I never want to finish second at anything. And I don't care if there's 2 people competing or there's 1,000 people competing. I don't want to come second. If I don't come first, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. And that's the whole thing, isn't it? All the club are worried about is coming top 4, right? They've created this top 4 situation because the Champions League and the money and the prestige or whatever it is, right, that's involved. That's all that matters. That's all this club are worried about. And half our fan base, I don't understand it. It does seem a little bit, and I've got to be honest, most people that aren't getting Arteta and don't want him at the club, most of those people are maybe the older generation fans, right? Like myself, like you, Greg, like Terry, and other people that you see. They're the people that don't know that Arteta's not the right man. All these maybe younger fans that haven't really seen too much from Arsenal because we haven't done much, have we, for a long, long time in terms of winning the league and winning the major trophies, really, have we? So they probably quite like finishing second. I don't. Not interested. Not interested. I'm not even interested in finishing 4th, really. I know you have to finish in the top 4 because I don't care about the Champions League, if I'm honest. We're never going to win it. We never have won it. So I'm not bothered. I'd rather not bother with European football at all because it's corrupt, it's horrible, don't like it. And this new Champions League format with 100 games just to qualify for a knockout stage is ridiculous, right? I've got no interest in that. So I don't care if we finish top 4 or not. I want to see us win a trophy, whether it's the Premier League, whether it is the Champions League, whether it's the FA Cup, League Cup, anything. Let's just win some trophies, shall we? Let's just win some trophies. That's what I'd rather say. I don't care about top four, but it's all the club worried about because it's money. That's it. Mark says the Champions League is the big carrot, but we don't have a snowball in Harry Charles. We're absolutely not. No, absolutely not. We don't. That's why I can't get excited about it. I just cannot get excited about it because we're going to fall by the wayside somewhere along the line. We will, because we're nowhere near at that level. We don't have an elite manager. You need an elite manager to win the Champions League. We've had opportunities, and obviously there's been a lot of talk this week about the New England manager, Thomas Tuchel. I remember when he was it when he got sacked from Chelsea, or was it before he went to Chelsea? I can't remember now. But when he was available, I was desperate for Arsenal to get Thomas Tuchel as manager because he's an elite manager. He's an elite coach. He knows how to win big games. He knows how to win big tournaments. Look at his record. I'll take him now, actually. Obviously, we're not going to get him because he's gone to England. But I'm over the moon he's gone to England because England are now going to start being serious in competition because he knows what he's doing. And that's what you need. You need a manager who knows how to win. But if Arsenal were serious about winning trophies, we would have got a manager in at the time we got Arteta, who's a winning manager. It didn't quite work out with Unai because we didn't back him enough. We didn't give him enough time. He's a manager with a proven record of winning trophies. I would have stuck with him a bit longer. And yet we've stuck with a manager who's proven nothing other than putting cones out for Pep on the training ground. And we went with that and backed that instead of backing a man who has won trophies throughout his career. European trophies. Overachieved everywhere he's been. Overachieved. El Loco says, and just like that, Arteta has destroyed Jacob Kiwior. Exactly what I said, my friend. Exactly what I said. He's killed him. And how many other players has he killed at Arsenal? How many? The list is endless, absolutely endless. He should be sent to prison for murder. The amount of players he's killed at Arsenal, ridiculous. The poor lad will not recover from that super fast substitution for his mistake. Exactly, yeah. What you've got to do as a manager, right? I don't care how upset you are, how angry you are by a player making a mistake. If you take especially a player that's come off the bench in the first place, has hardly played because the manager don't ever pick him, right? If you get taken off straight away as soon as you've made a bad mistake, that's bad enough on its own. But to do it to a player that's actually just come on, that's shocking man management. And this is another issue of Arteta. His man management is terrible. I mean, look at Trossard, right? Trossard made a terrible mistake for the sending off. He never got taken off. That mistake was probably worse. Jacob Kiwior comes off the bench. He's hardly played. He's not going to be in tune with the game. He's not going to be sharp because he's not played much football because the manager won't ever play him. He gets made the scapegoat. Ridiculous. Another terrible, terrible decision from this manager. The list is endless. Honestly, I've got a whole sheet, A4 sheet, about 5 pages long, both sides, mistakes that Arteta's made. And I keep going back to him. Oh, he's done that again. He made that mistake 3 years ago. He made that mistake 4 years ago. He made that mistake 2 years ago. He's doing it again. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is the first sign of madness. This guy is mad and he should be gone. He should be gone. And I've been saying this for so long. So long. But absolutely El Loco, 100%. He's just killed another Arsenal player, a player that he needs in this squad because the squad ain't very big as it is, and he's not going to stay very long, is it? Because I can't understand if I was a top football player right now, and Mikel Arteta and Arsenal came in to buy me, I'll be like, no, I'm not. I can't play for that man because you know what's going to happen. You know what is going to happen. Greg says, totally agree. We should have trophies in the cabinet. We should be in finals and winning the league. We're going backwards. Indeed, you think about it, right? You look at the last 5 seasons of Arsene Wenger, right? Have a look at it. We won 3 FA Cups, right? We got to a League Cup final. So that's another cup final. We got to a Europa League semi-final. Okay, we lost it, but we got to a semi-final. Good runs in the cup, keeping the season alive, right? So we got to a cup semi-final there. We came second in the league. In the season, Leicester won it. Obviously, we got top 4 quite a lot of times as well. And then if you look at the last 4 seasons, no cup finals, no semi-finals, out of Europe completely in the first place. And these are the type of things that, as fans, that's what we care about, right? That's what we care. I don't care if we get 110 points in the league and come second. Not bothered, because we haven't won it. Pointless, meaningless, right? I want to see us get to cup semi-finals. I want to see us get to cup finals. I want to see us challenging for all different trophies. George Graham won 6 trophies for Arsenal. He won everything. He won a League Cup. He won an FA Cup. Well, he won a couple of FA Cups. He won 2 league titles, and he won a European trophy. Everything he won. Every single thing in 6 seasons. He won everything, right? Every single trophy that's possible to win. You know, all the domestic cups and a European trophy, right? We haven't won a European trophy since, by the way. We haven't won a League Cup since, by the way, either. You know, we won a load of Premier Leagues under Arsene Wenger, of course, because Arsene Wenger was just incredible, right? But this is where we are. This is where we are, right? And people go on about Arteta as though he's reinvented football, as though he's the greatest manager Arsenal's ever had. As Greg said before, he's one of the worst Arsenal managers I've ever seen, and I've seen 6 or 7. And he's probably well, I would say he's not quite the worst one, but he's certainly one of the worst ones, definitely. I don't understand it. Roland says, "Preach the gospel." I agree with everything you're saying. No, I'm glad you do, but it doesn't make it better. Russ says, "I don't have the word. I have the words, my friend. There's 2 words I have: Arteta out, and they've been the same words I've had for the last 5 years. Get him out of this club. If we want to be taken seriously, we have got to have a manager who knows what it's like to win, who's got courage, who's brave, who takes risks to win things. That's what you've got to do. You don't win nothing by playing the way that we just did there. And it's not just this game. This has been a constant for 5 years nearly. It's a constant. This is what happens. This is what we're going through constantly, right? And people saying, "Oh well, we took it to the last game last season." Well, if we hadn't bottled the Aston Villa game by picking a stupid, ridiculous formation, a stupid team, we would have won the league. The season before, he kept on playing Aaron Ramsdale in goal. He was giving goals away right, left, and centre, and we lost the league again, down to him. Cups, he just throws them away. He's not bothered. El Loco says, "Please no more elite manager talk. Arteta is an elite manager. Just one defeat and suddenly Arteta out. Arteta has proved himself, and the only reason he hasn't won the league is because he was up against Qatar." No, but you see, no, he's not an elite manager. What's he done? What's he done to prove he's an elite manager? What's he done? Elite managers win big trophies. Elite managers win Champions League. They win league titles. They win domestic cups. They regularly go into semi-finals and finals every year. That's what an elite manager does. Arteta's not an elite manager. I think he's an all right coach. I think he's a pretty good coach, right? He's got his set ideas how he wants to play football, and he's a good coach. He can't manage anybody. No player with any personality is going to play for Mikel Arteta. So we get players that are all the same. They're all the same. They've got no personality whatsoever. They're just yes men who will do what they're told, and they won't argue or do anything back. Everything has to be set out for him, and that's not an elite manager at all. An elite manager knows how to win big games, knows how to get things over the line, wins trophies. Arteta's not elite at anything other than moaning and crying when things go wrong, like he's bound to do tonight. He's bound to cry about this game. I'm just waiting for it. He's not an elite manager, is he? Come on, he's not an elite manager. If you think he is, please prove to me, show me something to prove he's an elite manager. Elite managers have got a CV of trophies. A CV of trophies. What's he got a CV of? Putting cones out for the best manager in the world at the moment. That's about it. That's it. That's top of his CV. That's all he's got. That's not elite, is it? Greg says, "Going to Wembley for a cup final used to be a great event. We've got to get that back with this manager. It's not going to happen." No, I agree. That's what it's about, isn't it? That's what, being a football fan, that's what it's about. It's about those big moments, isn't it? It's about big games. It's about cup finals. It's about going far into these competitions. That's what it's about. You're right. We're not going to get there with this manager. Absolutely no chance we've not. He's had plenty of opportunities to do it, hasn't he? 4 seasons in a row. This is now the 5th season in a row since, his 4 seasons that he's been at the club. He's had plenty of opportunities. Juju says, "No set piece, no play." Yeah, I think you're right. That's what we've become, haven't we? We've become a team that can defend well and can score goals from set pieces. That's it. We create next to nothing in open play. We're boring to watch. And we've got players that are all the same. We've got Every single player in this team is the same. We've got nothing different. We've got no creativity. We've got no one who does anything off the cuff. We've got no excitement about us. It's just very stale. It's very boring. And I think, you know, even people that rate Mikel Arteta, you've got to say this has become stale. We've become too predictable. We're risk averse. And you don't win things like that. You don't win big things by playing like that. Like I said, anyway, cheer up, Gooners. We've got Rene's goals to cheer us up. So exactly, I'm looking forward to that. Arteta ain't going nowhere. Arsenal surely ain't going to be the first side to sack both men and women's managers once. Well, I'm hoping that we are. We didn't really sack Jonas, I suppose, but you're right. I don't think Arteta is going anywhere. He should. I know where I'd like to send him, but you're right. He's not going to go anywhere. We're stuck with him indefinitely if he keeps getting top four. You know, and it's a double-edged sword because the only way he's going to get sacked will probably be if he doesn't reach the top four. But not reaching the top four is going to have a massive detrimental effect on the club, which we don't want as fans, do we? We don't want the club to suffer that. You know, we're out of the Champions League for a long time under Arsenal being going, well, I don't like the Champions League. If you're an elite club, you've got to be in it. If you want to attack the top players, you've got to be in it. As much as I don't like it. So it's a double-edged sword because in a way it's like, I'd quite like us to finish fifth because then it might mean he goes. But the club's going to suffer and it's not worth it. They just need to make a decision and say, do we want to win things? Greg says, that's the problem. He's got his set ideas and won't change. Never is an elite manager. He's average, which isn't good enough for a club like this. Exactly, yeah. I'd say probably slightly above average. I don't think an average manager comes second in the Premier League 2 seasons in a row, scoring a number of goals that we did. I don't think he's an average. I think he's better than average, but he's not good enough to take us to that next level. And I think sometimes, it's like the Brendan Rodgers thing at Liverpool. He did okay at Liverpool. He progressed them from where they were before he came in, but he could never get them over the line. And they needed someone like Klopp to come in and take them to that next level. That's what we need. Arteta's done as much as he can do. He's taken us as far as he can. Now, what we need to do is get in the next manager in who can take us to that next level. Whoever that might be, I don't know. Someone who's got, like I said, a track record of winning trophies, a track record of an elite manager. That's what we need now, if we want to succeed. But yeah, okay, let's give him the rest of this season, shall we? Let's write up another season. No one's bothered. We don't need to win trophies, do we? Let's just have nice, happy, smiley faces, shall we? You know, a nice manager with nice hair that talks nonsense. That'll do. Mark says at crucial times, his decision making is not up to the task. Exactly. I've been saying this for years and it hasn't changed, is it? I say there's a whole list of things that he's not very good at. And they keep coming back. They keep coming back. And people have said, oh, you know, it's his first managerial job. He's learning on the job. Well, he's not learning very much, is he? Because we're still doing the same things that we were doing 4 years ago. We're still making the same mistakes with different players. It comes down to one factor only. That's the manager. He's to blame for everything. And until we get rid of him, we're going to be suffering more disappointment than anything else. And coming second in the league is a disappointment. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, look at the football we play. No, it's a disappointment to come second because you haven't won it. It's a disappointment. We're going to have to suffer a lot more disappointments under this manager because we're never going to win anything. We're not. It's obvious. Anyway, I've had enough of this, actually, to be honest with you. That game just depressed me too much. But I do want to give credit to Bournemouth. Fair play to you guys. Well done, Bournemouth. You took advantage of our shitness. You took advantage of the fact we were down to 10 men. People doubted that you'd be able to take advantage of it, but you did. And fair play to you. You played well today. You deserved to win by more goals than 2-0. We were quite lucky. It was only 2-0. So well done, Bournemouth. Well done for that first goal as well. Brilliant corner routine. Caught us out. And there you go. Yeah. What more can you say? Well done, Bournemouth. That's about it, really. Meg said, I'm so happy Arsenal lost. Well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are happy Arsenal lost. And that's because we're such a big club that's so important that people care. See, this is a difference. And I don't know, it might just be me. I'm not really bothered about other clubs. If another club loses, I don't care. If Tottenham lose, I'm not really bothered. They're just Tottenham. They don't mean anything. If Man United lose, they lose. So what? You know, I only care about Arsenal. If Arsenal lose, I'm upset and I'm annoyed and whatever it is, frustrated. If other teams lose, I don't really care. But you care enough about Arsenal losing to come on here and laugh about it. And that's great because that's how big we are. That's how important we are to everybody. Talk Sport talks about Arsenal all the time. Everybody talks about Arsenal. Goldsmith, whatever his name is, the Man United guy, talks about Arsenal all the time. Everybody talks about Arsenal because Arsenal are the biggest club in the world, right? We're the most important club there is, right? I don't care about anybody. I don't care if Man United lose. I don't care if Tottenham lose. I don't care if Chelsea lose. I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't make my day any better. The only thing that makes my day better is Arsenal winning. And if Arsenal don't win, then I don't care. Nothing else matters. Mark C says, no one likes us. We don't care. Exactly. Yeah, they don't. And it's funny. Greg says, I agree. Congratulations, Bournemouth. You exposed us completely. They did, yeah. Good manager, you see. Knows the other team's weaknesses and exploits it. Even if he has to change the way he plays to do it. Not like our manager. He'll keep playing the same way regardless. Bob says Arsenal absolutely right. See another one. You see, good. See you enjoying Arsenal losing. That's good. That just shows how big we are. It shows how important we are. So keep it coming, guys. Keep being happy that we've lost. I'm unhappy. I'm allowed to be because it's my team. You shouldn't care. Get on with your own club, whatever club that is, whoever you support. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. You look at your own club. Be happy when your team wins. Be sad when your team loses. If other teams lose, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't matter, does it? You worry about your own team like I do. I don't care about anybody else. Honestly, I don't care if Tottenham lose. Tottenham won today, but if Tottenham had lost, say Tottenham were playing tomorrow and they lose and they lost tomorrow, it wouldn't make me feel any better about Arsenal lose. I wouldn't care. Man City are playing tomorrow. If Man City lose tomorrow, I don't care. Because it's not going to change our result, is it? In fact, it'll be worse. Because if Man City lose tomorrow, look at the big opportunity we would have had to have got some points on them. It'll have to be worse if they lose. I hope they don't lose because that'll make me feel worse about it. And the same with Liverpool. You know, if they drop points and we had a big opportunity playing Bournemouth away, you know what I mean? I only care about us. I care about our results. If we win, I'm happy. If we lose, I'm not happy. And that's it. I don't care about anybody else. Adrian's a Cherries fan. No, well played, Jim. Fair play to you, mate. I don't mind Bournemouth fans because Bournemouth have beaten us, so they can be happy. They can be happy that we've lost because their team have beaten us. Their team have won. They deserve to be happy. If you don't support Bournemouth, why are you happy that Arsenal have lost? Why do you care? Why do you ask yourself that? Go away tonight. Ask yourself why you care that Arsenal have lost. Why are you bothered? Unless it means we're the biggest club in the world and we're that important. It's the only reason why it bothers you. So that's your issue, not mine, not Arsenal. We don't care. We've lost the game. We're upset, and that's it. And if you're happy about that, you need to find out why. Because you shouldn't be. You shouldn't really care, should you? Let's be honest. You know, other than the Bournemouth fans, they deserve to be celebrating tonight because they've had a great victory that they fully deserved. Absolutely fully deserved. Brilliant Bournemouth were today. Absolutely fantastic. And I hope that Arteta has got the character to come out after the game when he's interviewed and give Bournemouth credit for the way they played, because they were even 11 against 11. Bournemouth were a better team. So I want Arteta to say that if he doesn't, if he hides behind the sending off, if he makes excuses, that's not good enough for me. He's got to come out and say, hands up, Bournemouth were better than us from the first whistle to the last. The red card made no difference. We would have lost that game anyway. But he won't say that because he'll use it as an excuse for himself to justify his weaknesses. Greg says, gone are the days when teams feared about facing Arsenal. Yeah, all you've got to do is a little bit of analysis now, which they've got people to do that. You know how to play us. You know what we're going to do. Just go out and nullify our threats. And we didn't have any threats today because our two threats are injured. And on next week against Liverpool, our best defender's injured. Suspended, sorry. So there you go. If we come out of that game with anything, I'll be amazed as things stand. But hopefully Saka might be fit, which would be a big help, obviously. But let's see. But Saliba won't be. Who's going to play centre-back? He's just killed Kiwior, so he's not going to play. Who are we going to play centre-back? Calafiore? Maybe. Is Timber going to be fit to play left-back? Maybe. We'll have to see. Some decisions to make. You can't kill one of your only centre-backs that you've got in your squad when you know your other centre-half suspended. Ridiculous. Anyway, look. The Arsenal women are playing tomorrow against West Ham. We're going to enjoy that game because we're going to win. And we're going to end the weekend on a high after watching that absolute nonsense that went on there. So, yeah. But join me for that. Thank you very much actually for watching. It's been great. I've enjoyed your company and I've enjoyed the comments. Even the anti-Arsenal comments have been, I've quite enjoyed that as well. So thank you to all you guys. Thank you to the Bournemouth fans that have come in as well. And I'll say, well done to you guys. And, you know, you go on and have a good season. You play well today. Really impressed with how you went about the game. Brilliant. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget, give us a like and do consider subscribing. We're back tomorrow, the Arsenal women's game. It kicks off at 3 o'clock. We'll be about 2:45. We have a bit of build up, all the team news. Renee is first WSL game. Interesting to see how that goes. We haven't won there for the last 2 seasons at West Ham, so that'd be tough. A bit like today was tough at Bournemouth, but you've got to find a way to win, haven't you? If you're a serious team, you find a way to win. Arsenal men can do it today. Can the women do it tomorrow? We shall see. Join me at 2:45 for that one. It's going to be good. It's a way to get this game out of our system, isn't it? Anyway, enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. There's not much of it left. I will probably watch Match of the Day, or maybe I won't. Depends how I feel at 10 o'clock. A couple of hours, I'll have some dinner and then I'll think about what I want to do this evening. But whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I will see you tomorrow afternoon at 2:45, where we're going to enjoy a game of football watching the women, can't we? And hopefully a victory as well. So yeah, thanks everyone today. It's been a pleasure. Greg says, thanks as always for a great show. Looking forward to tomorrow. Go on, the Gooner girls, indeed, yes. I'm sure they'll cheer us up, my friend. I'm sure they will. I'm sure we'll be sitting here tomorrow afternoon feeling a lot happier with life than we do right now, because we would have seen our fantastic women's team get a victory. So it finished here at the Vitality Stadium. So Bournemouth 2, Arsenal 0. Arsenal did have William Saliba sent off, but don't let that fool you into thinking that made any difference to this result. It didn't. Bournemouth were great. We were awful. We've lost. Our unbeaten run is over. No invincibles this season. No invincibles for us. Did we think that Mikel Arteta could produce an invincible season? Of course we didn't. And we've just been proven right again. Very, very disappointing. We need to improve next week. We've got a Champions League game in the week as well. And obviously next Sunday, the big game against Liverpool. So, yeah, improvements need to be made quickly. We need to find a way to win without some of our best players. We couldn't do it today. We have to do it next week. So, but anyway, we can worry about that later, can't we? Mark C says, stick by the team. Well, we'll stick by the team. We just won't stick by the manager because he's not good enough. Adios to you, my friend, as well. Might see you tomorrow if you're up for the women's game. Otherwise, we'll see you during the week, of course, for the Champions League. Thanks for watching, guys. Come on, you Gunners. We will bounce back, I'm sure. Join me tomorrow, 2:45. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.